only live stream. I'm not sure if it's only Puzzle Rush. I mean, maybe we do something else later. But the bulk of it will be puzzles, as that was what was requested. So we're going to try that for a little bit. I just want to make sure this is not playing on YouTube and my music is playing on TikTok, because I don't want to get demonetized on YouTube. Alright, it is playing on TikTok and it's not playing on YouTube. So that means everything's good. Let me just full screen this, pull up on my phone, and we get the live stream started. So if you're here right now waiting for some chests, just give me like 20 seconds and we'll have some chests on the screen in 1 second. Alright, is this the right, maybe it's the right screen though. Is this the right screen? It's not the right screen. Okay, so I need to do one more thing then. Oh no, it is the right screen. Okay, cool. So let's get this started and see if we can do well to begin. Let me full screen this then. Alright, I played a little bit before. I mean, a little bit of puzzles to warm, oops, that's the wrong button. To warm up, but yeah. They moved their rook here to E1. We're gonna take this, is my mic on? Why is this not working? Why? Okay. Oh, I get it. Alright, but their bishop's gonna move here to C3. This is simply free here on C3. So you're gonna, oh. Well, hold on, let's restart that. I can't get one of the first couple incorrect. That would be horrible. Alright, they take there on D1. Take. Alright, 1 for 1. Let's just start fresh. I can't even got the 6th puzzle wrong. Alright, that's mate in 1. This is mate. This is mate. This is mate in 2. And now the 6th puzzle. Will we get stumped again? No. We hit the 300 or 400 rated puzzle correctly. Finally. The queen's going to slide here and we take here on C4. Alright, they slide over. Well, you have an extra pawn. So you want a queen trade in. Their king's simply too slow to catch up. You're going to go promote there. Alright, they slide their rook over. The queen actually has no ability to checkmate in any capacity. But the rook can take here on H6 for checkmate, which is that one. Alright, their knight's going to slide in. So their knight is currently not protected by the queen. So what I'm thinking is queen here. It's a check and it attacks the knight here on C3. Yep, take this. And that's that one. Alright, their knight's going to slide in. So what you want to look at here is the king is kind of open. Look at all this open space. My thought is queen here, check. And then checkmate here on F2. Alright, so this next one. The knight's going to slide. The king has no squares to move. So if the king was in check right now, you'd win the game. So knight here is checkmate. Alright, the pawn comes forward. Again, looking at the king's safety, this is probably the first move that comes to mind. If they go up with the king, I will say they are kind of defended. But this is still probably the first move. I'm not sure. Yeah, that'll make you figure it out. Because I don't think it's that simple to win the game, despite it looking pretty easy. Alright, their king's here. The king can slide over. It can go back. So if you were to deliver this check, it cuts off this square. So it cuts off the file because of the rook. Cuts off this square, so they can only go back. Oh, then you can bring your rook down, right? And then because the knight's here, they can only go back. The problem with that is with check, they could come up. Oh, and then your knight could come back. Yeah, I think it's that. This is not the 14th hardest puzzle, though. This has actually got a lot of calculation. Rook's going to slide down with check. I'm thinking here attacking the king. If they go back here, I believe the way it's mate is because of up here, checkmate, and then if down, rook down's mate. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, although I like to emphasize, this is not an 800 level puzzle. That's more difficult than that. But the knight's line again, rook over. This is more like 800. This is like a mate in 2. That's like a mate in 4. And you have that where you're guarding this and the pawn's guarding the rook. So let's try that. Knight's going to slide in for check. And then rook over here for checkmate. Alright, the pawn's going to come down here. We're going to, oh, you appreciate those likes there on TikTok. The rook can capture with check. The king's going to have to slide down. This is like, okay. Well, this is obviously the move. It's here, 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 here. Oh, I guess that is just mate. Yeah, okay. Check. They go down. You have check. They have to slide there, and the queen slides there for mate. I was like, how do you run them this way because of the rook? But it's actually just mate here on G7, which is what I missed. Alright, so this next one. So it has to be mate in 1, would be my thought. I guess you're down 2 pieces. So you have to either win a lot, or it's mate in 1. And it's knight here, check, because you see the bishop's cutting off the diagonal, and this knight's going to guard the escape square, and they can't remove the knight, so we're going to have knight captures F6 for checkmate. Alright, next, the bishop's going to drop back here to G5. You have the white pieces. So you see you have these 2 pawns. You know that a bishop can actually stop both of them. So if you take this and then just push up, that should be it. Yeah, and you just go up. Because if you went here, then the bishop could go there. Honestly, well, let's see. Here, 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 here. I guess you could really still win that way. I'm sure it's probably this way, though. But I'm pretty sure this is still a win. Because if you go up here to b7, which is not the right move here, I'm sure. Bishop back, up. How would they stop? Oh, I guess they could here, here. But yeah, here. They can't go bishop down. The king can't go over. King there. Yeah, you'd still win. But I'm sure for simplicity, they want you to do, yeah, to do it this way. Maybe you don't still win. I want to see that. Because I think you can go the other way. But I'm sure I'm missing it because they wouldn't allow 2 right answers. I want to see how that doesn't actually work. So they go here, here. Oh, king c7. I'm not even looking at the king. Yeah, the bishop. All right, that's why. Good thing I didn't do that. But the bishop couldn't have stopped it. I was right about that, but I missed the king moving in. But you can capture here, check, double check. And the king would have to slide over. You have check. They slide up. And then knight in here, checkmate. Yeah, so capture here. And they do have this escape square, and they're not checked. This solves both of those problems. They're in check now, and the king can't move to that square. So that's mate. We get the first 19. All right, their queen slides down here to d8. This is a mate in 1, 2, 3. I think it's mate in 3. So the rook slides down here, check first. The king has to move. Queen slides over. The king can't go back because of that rook, so they have to push the pawn that you take there on f2 for mate. So let's see if that's right. Here, here, and then take here. Let's go to the next one. Their pawn's going to come forward. This should be mate and 3. So you have this check, and if they go there, you would go rook over, king over, rook down. If you go here, they go, okay, they can't go here because of the same thing. But if you go check, king back, knight can slide in attacking the queen there. If the queen slides over, you have the same idea. So it's pretty much the same move order. Check, and now you move the knight in, and then the rook's going to slide over here to h2. I'll do this next one. The queen's going to take. This is probably rook captures here. Wait, if rook, okay, rook take, yeah, it's rook take. Because if rook takes, you take with check, they go back, you take here because of the pawn being anchored. And then if you take, the king goes back, you can just take the pawn, yeah. So rook captures, take here because the bishop's guarding the queen. And then this is almost not mate. They almost have an escape square. If you take there, it's not. But you take here on g7 to get the win. All right, you see the king slides over. This one is a little bit more tricky because going queen here I don't actually think works because they could go queen back. I guess that, as clearly there's something I'm missing though, because you could, taking here is, I think, the move. Because you take, oh no, it's not the move. It is queen here. Yeah, this is tricky because this looks like it's good, but king up, you can't actually mate them. But when you go here, the queen goes back. Rook will take. They have to go back, then you take that. So yeah, let's see if that's right. Here, yeah. You remove the defender 2 times. So right now the queen's double protected by the king and the pawn. But when the rook takes, you're getting rid of the king because it can't stay there. And you're getting rid of the pawn. So you're removing 2 defenders with 1 move. My elo, so what time control? If you're talking about online, what time control? And then, do you mean over the board? But take and then checkmate here. I guess I could just answer all of them. My online, these are 500 elo. Well, these are, it's a puzzle rush. My elo is 2100 blitz and rapid, and then I'm 1956 USCF. But puzzle rush builds up, so it's not, it doesn't start at super high difficulty. But queen here for checkmate, I believe in 1. Yep, so this next one, they move their queen here to e3. We can slide check here, and then you push the pawn down, check. That should just be mate. Yeah, check here, check. And they can't do anything. And Ilya, again, appreciate those likes there on TikTok. Let's see, check here. Check here, and that's mate. All right. King's going to slide over. If you slide your, oh, you can't go here because of the knight, or here because of the knight. So I imagine it's some type of check. It's probably this diagonal check. But I guess if they go over, you still can't move your queen in. And you can't, I assume it's not back because then the king can slide back over. So we have to think about this one. If you give a check, they go here. You still can't, the problem is you want to get your, oh, you would sack your queen then. Yeah, and then the rook takes. Okay. That's why it works. I'm like, it has to be something with that because the king doesn't have an escape square. But you would sack your queen at the end, although you don't actually get to see it there. But the king slides up here to d3. If you, this is honestly just checkmate, yeah. Rook down here, the king can't move because of the queen, and they can't go back because of the queen. So this is just mate in 1. Alright, next one. You see the king's pretty weak. It looks like there is mate with the queen, but you're not quite quick enough because of here. They have this knight, and you can't take the knight with the queen. But you do have this bishop that can get active here on a3, attacking the king there. And if they come up, you can take that. So yeah, I think this should work here. Bishop here to a3. Yep, and that's the puzzle. So their rook's over. Immediately my eye darts towards here, taking on a3. If they slide their king over, how do you mate would be the question. I wonder if it's take king over, then just bishop here. I guess c4 would be an issue then. But it is probably taking on a3 though. If you take on a3, the king goes to b2. You can't take this. Oh, so let's say here to a3, king over. You can't take this because of the bishop, so that's not an option. So say this is right and that's the follow. That's a forced move. The bishop going, yeah. You could bring the bishop here, I guess. But what does that do? It'd have to be quicker. Is it winning this knight? But you're down material, so you need to win more than the knight for puzzles like this usually. I think this is the first move. It could be a trick though, because it looks like it's obviously the first move, and it may not be. Take, sacking there doesn't do anything. This is a hard one, but I think this is the first one. Let's just get this on the board. Alright, you take here. Alright, now we have an issue. So you take the king slid over. Take. No, there's nothing there. Yeah, there's not a mate. I'm guessing you need your rook in somewhere. Or bishop here. Because here just doesn't work because of c4. And you can't take that because of the queen. That doesn't work at all. Rook sliding in here doesn't work. Pawn. Oh, this pawn up. No, it doesn't work because the queen could take. Does it open up anything though? Yeah, I want to be hanging at the end there. There's no. I really don't see this one. This is supposed to be an easier one. It's only about 1500, but it's harder than some of the puzzles I did yesterday at like the 2000 level. I feel like, unless I'm missing something obvious. Take here. You can't take that. Take there. That doesn't work. Bishop here. C4. It must be with c4 then. Oh, I guess if c4 you can go here and then over. And then you could take. Okay, I think it is this then. Yeah. And then you go queen here. That's the part I missed. I'm like, c4 stops it, but it doesn't stop this. Right, okay. Go to this next one. They take the queen, or the whatever they just took there. You capture. The king's going to have to slide back. And you have mate in 2. Or like, so here, they have to go over. Check. It's not mate in 2. Here, 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 over, check, down, mates. I didn't draw the arrows right, but I think you can see what I'm showing. The knight's going to take here in the center. Or on e3. You see the king's kind of weak. This one I think is just mate in 2. Right? Because you give this check. Now if you check here, it doesn't actually work. Because you can't guard this. This square is out of the reach of the queen. As the queen, as much as it can do, it can't move like a knight. But a knight can move like a knight. So if you give a check, they slide back, the knight then slides in. It's a pretty normal mating tactic, I would say. So yeah. Oh, that's not it. What? How is that not it? Did I miss something? I guess that's not it. Oh, the king can go that way. Maybe it is that way. Ah, I missed the queen over. I thought it was with the queen and the knight. So we get that one incorrect. Let's go to this next one though. We're at 30. We only get 2 more incorrect. So we gotta lock in. Without using the arrow. I can do without using the arrow, but it's supposed to be other people can see what I'm thinking. But yeah, I can do without the arrow. I put over the board before that, so this is newer to me, honestly. But you take here on d5, take, and the knight can take there for checkmate. Not checkmate, to win the queen there. Yeah. Like, that's way easier than that other puzzle. I don't know how these are the same, how this is more difficult. Alright, next one. This is just, this is mate in 1. You take here. And then the king can't move. Right, yeah. I'll do the next one here. The knight's going to slide. You can't slide over because nothing happens. I wonder, can you sack the queen or anything? I don't think you can sack anything. But you do control this file. Oh, no, you can sack, actually. Here, because they take it, then you go there. And then if you go here, they go over, you go down. That's mate. I'm pretty sure that's it. Here, here, here. Knight, take. Yeah, that's mate. Here, yeah. And then here, right? Yeah, check. The king can't move back. Yep. And you take the knight. Alright, so this next one. The queen is going to capture. Is there any sack here? Take, check. Check here, here. No, you can't sack. Oh, it's just rook down, I think. Yeah, rook down. They can't get over. They have no check despite them having a queen and a rook. And thank you for all those likes there on TikTok, Ilya. Closing. And a new subscriber as well. We're almost at 9 for you there on YouTube. But the rook can slide down, and that's just mate in 1, I think. So let's try rook e2. Yeah, and they try and block it, but this is check here, and then checkmate. They're one move too short here, yeah. And that's that one. Bishop's going to take here on f6. Oh, I think you take the knight. You sack the queen again, because the bishop and rook are such a strong mating idea around the king when they have all these pawns left there. And if they don't take, like if they go there, you just take the queen. And they have no back rank mate. Like if these pawns right here, you have to do some more thinking, but I'm pretty sure you just take the knight, yeah. Alright, their knight's going to slide in. So their queen looks a little bit weak right here. That's the first thing that comes to mind. This is also something that comes to mind. So say you take there. Oh, it's probably this actually. Yeah, I think it is this. Because here, they can't take back or you'll take in the center, winning one of the minor pieces. And then Samuel, appreciate those likes on TikTok. But if you do this and they go back, what would you do? I guess that's still a benefit to you if they have to go backwards. Yeah, that's my guess. I just don't see after bishop d1. I guess you take in the center. But like, how do you make that a winning advantage? Yes, this is puzzle versus survival. Yep. Yeah, I believe you just take here on d3. Yeah, and now they just have to lose because you have these two defenders looking to guard there on e4, and they only have 2 defenders, but they need 3 defenders. Or no, you have 3 attackers, and they have 2 defenders. So this is an attacker right now. So once you take this, they only have 2 for 2, and that's kind of the issue. So you'll take here, and then you have to take it with the bishop first, because if you take, yep, I was about to say that, William, you beat me to it. If you take with the knight, there's check, over, and then mate. So you have to take with the bishop first, and then yeah. So we get that one. The bishop's going to slide out the way. Now the question is what's to do. So a check immediately, the first thing that comes to mind, but obviously there are a lot of blocks, so that's probably not it. We see that the knight, there's a fork there, a little bit too far away, I would say. If you were to take this attacking the rook, they'd have to take back. Or I guess they'd have to take back. So like here, here, there's nothing there. This is not one that's as obvious some of the other ones, so we have to do some thinking. If you slide all the way over, there's nothing. This diagonal, I think, is a pointless part of this. I wonder, can you take this? Oh, maybe if you take here, they would have to take there, right? Because that's falling. So let's say take. There's no discover it, capture, the queen takes. There's something with the knight, is my intuition. If the rook slides down, I don't see a way you could really slide in there. Like, you need, like, 3 moves. Rook, yeah, but you need 3 moves for that. If you go up, rook up runs into this. I don't see this one, honestly. My only guess is it's, like, take, and then I'm guessing there's an issue with this, and then you're... Oh, no, I do see it. Oh, I see it. Because if you take here and then queen here, you just win the bishop. That took a while, but I think that's it. Yeah. And you don't take the queen. You go here, check on g5. And then you take the light square bishop. Alright, let's go to this next one here. The queen's going to slide down. Check, up. Checkmate. No, that's not checkmate. Check. They can't go rook down, because I think that's too much of an issue. So I would imagine they... Well, that's probably the first move then. I don't have to calculate too much. This has to be the first move. There's no other way you can check them. Like, the queen can't get in. Like, if you just go up, there's just that. And then your attack's done, so you have to do something along the lines of the first rank. So if you go there and they go here, if you give a check, they go up. If you check, they'd have to go here. And you could go back. So then if you go up, up, I feel like that's the same thing though. And then here, here, check, here, check. I think this is the first move. Alright. Now this is the harder one, because the other way there was like a forced mate. I don't think there's a forced mate here. I think you just win material. So you give a check here on the second rank. Oh, what if they go there, though? That would stop what I'm trying to do. Oh, maybe it's this part of it. Because I mentioned that in the last one, where you'd eventually move the rook and kick the king away. So I think it's queen e4 first, because this doesn't actually do anything. And then they go here, and then you check again. The only problem is, how do you stop the mate? But I think that'll probably come on the board after. Yeah. I'll probably see that after I get this part of it. I think rook e2, it would have to be next if that moves right. Yeah. Now, how do you not get mated? Because if you go here, they have down. So the move order does matter here. So take, check. Like, you would just get mated if that happens that way. So you need a way to stop the mate from happening. So you need to do this with check or something. How do you do that? This, can you sack and then take and then check? I guess they would just go back. So that doesn't do anything. Check here. Pawn up. Oh, and actually I think it is this. Because if you give a check here on e6, you don't win the rook. They would slide up, and then you could go here, here, and then you have f5. I mean, you definitely can't take, though. That much is clear because of that. I'm not 100% certain about this, but I think I want to go for it. I think I'm just going to go here. Okay, that is it. I want to see how that works, though. That's kind of process of elimination, as you couldn't get back rank. I'll show that too in an analysis for those who didn't see that. So if you take here, the problem is they just have like a mate in two when you go back. So honestly, it's kind of cheating, which is kind of the problem with puzzles. I know there's a right answer, so I kind of just guessed here. After rook, it says rook f5 is the best move. So what happens if you go here then? Oh no, there's mate in 2. Oh, that's why. But here, there's mate in 3. So that's what I missed. Check, king g4, queen g6, king h. Here. Oh, rook down. Ah, I missed the rook to e4 part of it. Okay. Let's go to this next one. We got that one right. We're at 38. And appreciate all the likes on TikTok. We're closing in. Oh, wow, 6,000. Samuel, much appreciated. But the king slides forward. Please slow teach. Yeah, I'll try. Another subscriber on YouTube, much appreciated. Almost at 940. But yeah, I'll try and explain the moves a little bit more. R4. I got you. But the king comes forward. So my first thought is some type of check, because we have access to the H file. And we have these 2 rooks on it. No. I'll take that back. That's my first thought, but I think that's wrong. I think it's here, because king here just forces mate, I believe. There's no way they can check you, and then that is just mate there on H6. And if you lose the pawn, you have no mate. So yeah, that was kind of dumb. You could just go up. Because even if they move the pawn, you could just go bring the other rook. Like, you keep this rook here, cutting the king off. I'm like 95% sure. Okay, that is right. And then you take this, because you can't move this rook. Like, if you move this rook, then the mate threat is gone, and then they're just going to promote the pawn. But you have rook capture here on h3, I believe. Alright, then mates. Alright, let's go to the next one. The rook's going to slide down. I think you just take. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you just take the pawn. Because if you take, they're going to lose something. Like, if they capture. Your king can always go to f2 if they went down. I'm almost certain. But I said that before and I was wrong. I'm pretty sure you just take capture. And then, let's say here, there's no check. If there was a check, this makes this harder. But with no check, I don't see how this couldn't be the answer. Yeah, and you just take. And then just take. Okay, that's exactly what happened too. The rook's going to slide down. This should be just mate and like 3. Because if you check, they go back, you go here. They can't actually get a piece there. So they could take... Oh, I get the puzzle now. Because you would just take there. You couldn't take there. So check, back, check. They could sack the knight, which is what I think you have to find the response to. I think you would have to then go king d1. Because if you took, they have mate. This is like a 41 level difficulty puzzle. Some of them were a little harder earlier on, and they were easier as well earlier on. But I'm pretty sure it's here. They're going to go for the sacrifice. You have to go king d1. Because if you go king, I guess you could also go king f1. Well, I guess there are more checks that way, though. Well, let's try the first. Let's see if the first part's right before I get too deep into it. All right, that part's right. And because that part's right, this one almost has to be right because nothing else would make sense. Like, this wouldn't work if you don't go queen there. So the first part, I think, is correct. All right. Oh, they take this way. That doesn't... I guess that doesn't work. I guess you could have went either way. But this you can just take, though, right? I mean, you can't go over. That can't be the move. Let's see if you capture queen. There's no queen check. I guess there's... Okay, let's see. Capture, bishop check, though. Oh, maybe you can't capture. Maybe you do have to go over. If you go over with the king... Yeah, because if you do actually just take this, I think bishop check, your king would move. Their queen's almost in. I think I'm overthinking this, though. So you either take or you go king d1. I think king d1 runs into bishop take, which runs into the same issue of that. So you might just take it then. Because this is mate in 1. There has to be a trick to it, though. Because if it's just take, that's kind of simple. So I don't think it's just take. Here, bishop, over. If they take, you have to move the queen. And then they go f5. I think it is take. Because I guess if they have an extra piece there, then it's just harder to do in general. Okay, yeah. And the bishop slides in. Now this is the part I was kind of stumped on. Because if you go... Oh, it's back here. Yeah, it's back here. Because if you go back, then they have that check, and they have too many pieces. But I think it's king d1 now. I mentioned king d1, but you have to take the rook first and then go king d1, I believe. No, check, no. So how do you do... Wherever you go, I guess they have to give a check, though. Oh, what if it's here, take, and then here, and your king is stuck away? I think it's king d2, king c3. Yeah, because you're stuck here, and they can't go there because of the knight. Because if you go back, that doesn't work, right? The queen slides in. And if you go here, there's check. And then you can't go back, you can't go over. So it has to be king d2. Alright, they check, but you can't take it because of f5. So you have to go here. No, that's not right. Where do you have to go then? You don't go king c3. Apparently you go. You take the knight, really. And you're supposed to go up. Why can't you go here? It's minus a lot. I'm missing this part of it. The queen can't go there. Oh, I see. Queen there. How did I miss that? Yeah, QE3, and then that's an issue. Alright, we can only have one more strike on this attempt. Let's go to this next one. Take the knight with queen. Yeah, I was supposed to just take there. I thought it was a mate. I missed that part of it. Check. They slide. See, like this one's a lot. Oh, I'm in check first. I want to say this is a lot easier. I see I'm in check now. If you go up, they promote to a queen. If you go here, they have some type of discovered check, I believe, would be the issue. And if you go, but yeah, diagonal attack. Maybe you have to get checked. So I have to figure out what's the best. Oh, maybe it's here though. King f2. Okay, that actually might be it. Because king f2, knight down stops it. And if they promote to a knight, then you're fine. You just go there and just get out the way. So let's say here, knight here. Wait, so king f2, knight back, king e2. And then you would be okay. Because they still can't promote. As long as they don't promote to a queen with check, then I think you're still winning. You just have to stop that. Because anywhere else they can promote to a queen. Here it's queen. Here. I feel like we're into a similar issue. With knight down check. Here. Queen. I guess that's the same thing. I just feel like I'm missing it. Because this is the only way they don't get a queen. Like otherwise they get a queen. Maybe you could still get one. But they would have one. And I might be missing it. So my guess is king to f2. If I were to pick now. But I want to double check it. So if you go king up here. The part I must be missing. If you give a check. Can you stop that at all? You can't stop that. So I feel like, why can't you do any of this? Maybe it's the escape square. You go back over. So you go up, they go there, you go over. I'm not seeing the issue. Wow, I would hate to have this endgame. I can't believe there are people who would see this and immediately know the answer. This is still my instinct. Because although I don't see an issue with going over, I think I'm just missing it. This I could explain why it works. Because it works because they have that. And then you just go here. Oh, no, that doesn't work. No, if you go here, they have check. No, that doesn't work. Oh, no, I think it is. I think I was right. Yeah, because here, check. If you go... I just saw it. If you go back, they could just repeat, which is the issue. Because if you go here, here, and you don't repeat, and you go back, they promote to a queen. So, yeah, I think it is here, actually. Or whatever, the other place I just said, here. And you let their knight go in. That's kind of crazy. For a double check, then you run your king up the board? That might be the solution. No! I got it wrong. If it's king f2, that's very frustrating. Let's see. It is king f2. I was right. I should have trusted my instinct. It was king f2. But I went all the way up. I was seeing ghosts there. So we stop at 40 on that one. I can do puzzles. You can't go... I could have... You're right. Yeah, I just missed that. We can do this again, or do you want to do actual puzzles? Although I doubt I'll get as good on that. But I guess we could try this again. See if we get higher than 40. Alright, the first couple... I mean, not too complex. Checkmate in 1. Mate in 1. If you... Oh, you're in check. Okay. So, king over. No. Why am I stuck on this puzzle? Oh, yeah, here they can't slide over here. Okay, I get it. Yeah, the queen's guarding that. Alright, the queen's going to drop back. This is a free queen here on g1. We have a rook capture. And then, yeah, there should be mate there regardless. If they took the knight, you got queen to e3. Alright, queen's going to slide here, check. You have mate there at the end. This is mate in 1. Alright, about to go 10 for 10, hopefully. 54. 54? I think my record... I don't think my record's that. I think actually I have the exact same number. Because there's one stream, like my highest of all time probably says like 58 or something. But I got help the entire time. So I can't take any credit for it. The one I did by myself, the highest is like the exact same as yours. Take... Because I think it was the first stream I did this, we had like 58 or something on some crazy puzzles. And Samuel, appreciate all these likes again. Closing in, we hit 11,000 already. What's going on, Soggy? How you doing, man? And another sub on YouTube. We already gained 3 in basically under half an hour. If you guys are enjoying, check out the YouTube. I'm almost at 1,000. Be much appreciated. Free to subscribe. But I think checkmate here. Let's go to this next one. I think you sack 2 rooks and you take, and the queen slides down here for mate. All right, now looks like the queen is. Honestly, can you just take this? Yeah, because then you'd be up a minor piece. If they take, you take. If they take, you take. I'm pretty sure you can. Here, here. All right, next one. I think you could just slide your rook here to c6. And if they go down, take check. They go over and then check. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. All right, so this next one. Takes. Oh, okay, okay. I've done. Do you do a lot of? I've done a lot of puzzles. I've done a lot. I have that's what I do for my warm up for tournaments. I feel like that's the best I play. Like when I do the lead chess puzzles, dude, locked in. And you can make the difficulty crazy hard. Yeah, I think knight here to d3 runs into this. So I'm thinking you take the rook first. And there has to be a mate that I don't see mate, but there has to be a mate here. There has to be. It has to be a mate. The rook's gonna slide over. Rook can take. Take. Is it 1 minute? No, we don't have. Today we're doing puzzles. I got some requests yesterday to mix up the stream, basically, by a decent amount of people. So I'll listen to the viewers and switch up a little bit. So today is a puzzle day, but I'm not done with tournaments because I personally love them quite a lot. So but today, no. But we will. It's not over. Like I'm not just completely stopping them. But today it is just a puzzle day. But they take here on c8. I think you take. If they take. Man, what is this? Well, this has to be the first move. No, what? No way. No way. Oh my god. Yeah, let me just restart. Because I'm going to get a lot harder puzzles. And we're not going to do that. That's crazy. I did not see that one. Alright, checkmate. Rook's going to slide down here. Mate. 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 Alright, got the first 5. Mate here. Honestly, you can sack the queen, I'm pretty sure. Take, down, take. Yeah, you can sack the queen. Here. Alright. We're at 7. We need all the points we can get. That's kind of cheating. But I guess if I get back to the spot. There's mate there in 1. Alright, bishop. There doesn't work. This is mate here because of the bishop. Knight here, mate. Alright, at 10. Alright, now we're caught up. We're caught up now. And then here. Alright, back at 12. I don't know how I got that one wrong. But rook slides over. Let's see. Let's get back to thinking. I think you can go here. Because if they go there, there's mate. And then if you go here, 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 here. Yeah, I think it's just queen here. Because there's no way they can stop anything. But who knows? Because I don't know if I trust myself. Yeah, there we go. Alright, their pawn's going to go forward. You're losing this. That's kind of an issue. If you take... Oh, no, this is fine. This is fine. I'll take that back. Because you just take, and then take. Is that... I guess this is the 14th easiest puzzle. I'm like, why is it so easy? But that makes sense. The king can drop back here to d2 now. Because you have to keep contact to one of their pieces, and you take this. Alright, so this next one. This is mate in 3. Check, up, check, down, take. Because the queen can't move because of the pin. Let's see if that's right. Check, check, and then mate. Alright, so this next one. I feel like you would just take there. Yeah, because there's nothing there. Because they would just slide over. So yeah, I think it is just take here. Alright, so this next one. The bishop's going to drop back here. Good ISC. I don't know how I missed that. I don't know how I missed that. We can take... Oh, yeah, let's take with the bishop, probably. Because the queen needs to get active, right? So if you took... They'd have to take... Oh, I get it. And then check, and then over, then here, they have to sack the queen, right? Because if you just take this way, here, here, that your queen can't move. Let's hope that... Dude. Alright, I guess we just have to go with it then. Because I'm not going to restart again. I want to... What was that? Oh, maybe knight slid over. But their knight's going to go here to e6. This is a free knight, I believe. Because you take the knight slides and king g8. And it's stuck. Yeah, here, back, they can't move. You just take here on d7. Alright, their pawn goes to d6. Nah, there's no trap. Oh, no, no, there is something. Yeah, you can go here. If they go back, then up. I think that is the move. It was check with the bishop. Oh, let me take a look. Check with the bit. Oh, and then here, the same idea, except you're not sacking a piece. Oh, I just missed bishop back after take here. Yeah, they could just go back there. Yeah, I see now. But if you take this and they take with any of those, you go up. But say you take this and they go back. I don't know if that's winning anything. But honestly, I feel like this is still the move. Alright, and now you do see why it's winning something. Because you go up here, and then you can take the knight here. I go to the next one. The king's going to slide. Check is my first instinct. I think it is check. Because check, if they go back, check. That's actually mate. So they can't go that way. It'd have to be check over. Oh, no, is it mate anyways? And then you could still go down, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just mate. Yeah, even though I didn't think... I was looking at the promotion. But it's rook down. They can't go up. They can't go up. So yeah, this is just checkmate. Let's go to the next one. The knight's going to slide in the center. This is one of those, like, exchange ones, I'm pretty sure. So let's say take, you escape. But then take, and then take. They would have, yeah, this is fine. You don't take this, though, because that wouldn't work. You take the queen, because your knight's more flexible, and it can jump out, taking the bishop on c4. All right, the queen's going to slide down. This is mate in 3, I think. So you can go here with the knight. And then Samuel, again, thank you for all these likes. We're closing in. We have 15,000. That's low-key crazy. 15,000 in under hours. Going on, Sandy. How you doing? There on Twitch. But yeah, knight here to f3 for the check. If they take, then rook can go down here to e1 is what I'm thinking here. And then if they go rook down, you would just take there. I'm pretty sure it is that. Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't see that part. The king doesn't move. So where's the material hanging for them? Oh, yes, there's mate. If you take on h2, king captures. Oh, yeah, there's mate in one wherever. Because if you go here and they go down, that's mate. Because the knight's hanging, but it's still on the board for that one turn. And then here, there's that mate. Because of the triangle, yeah. Here, and they go for this way, and then this is mate. Let's do the next one. The queen slides over. This is a queen sacrifice one. Usually there's something you can sack 2 pieces, so it's hard to do, but this one is just take. They can't go in the corner because you take, and then here, the rook goes down because of the pin. Yeah. Here. Alright, let's go to the next one. The knight's going to drop here. I'm pretty sure it's mate in 2. Oh, no. Whoa. No. Never mind. I was about to say here and then here. Oh, it's mate in 1. You just go down. I overcomplicated it. If you go here to e1, they can't go over, can't go. Okay, yeah. And you're not in check. There's queen down here, so go to the next one. The rook slides over. So the first thing I'm looking at is there's a deflection on your king with take. The only thing I'll say about that is they can't actually checkmate me. So I think you can take the knight first, despite it looking bad. Because say you take, and then take. And if they take this, they know they're just losing, right? Because you just be up. So if they go queen back, you could go down, check, and your queen can go there to g7 now. So I'm pretty sure you could capture. And then honestly, process of elimination. Like nothing, you can do nothing else. Like if anything else, your queen is just not in the picture to help. You know, like that's kind of bad. That setup if your queen's too far. So this is kind of a process of elimination one. I think what you have to see though is that this is okay. Because after there you go queen back 2. I guess that's probably what they'll do. So let's see, take. Oh, they go for that instead. So you go king over then. Kind of the same idea of the queen dropping back. Well, this is also forced because you can't go anywhere. This is the only legal move. King h8. Okay, so it is the queen dropping back here to g7, what you have to see for this one. so you stop the mate there on h2. This is a smothered mate, so the knight's going to go here, double check, queen down, and then knight to f2. Let's go on Sandy. Some of the color. I don't know if no. But yeah, the queen's going to slide down. This is a free queen, I think, unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, that's a free queen. If they go here, you can just go bishop up. There's no way that's the tactic. Yeah, you go bishop here, and you take the bishop there in the corner. Or yeah, so here, and then you just take this. All right, let's go to the next one. This is mate in 1. Like, why are there mate in 1s at this point? Yeah, you just take, they can't move anywhere. This is mate in 2. Wait, no, mate in something. Check, they go up. And then check. No, there's not mate. So there's not mate, but you must win material somewhere. This is probably the first move that's forcing. They go here. What if you go check? Oh, I see it. I see it. It's not a checkmate, but you win the second rook. Because you're going to go down here, check. The king goes up. There must be a way to do this regardless. Check. They go over. Take. Take. I saw if the king comes here, you have the fork there with the knight at the end. But I guess they don't have to do that, actually. So maybe it's a second check in there. So you would check, they come here. You could check, they come up. No, but they could just go there. Oh, I think this is the first. Let's just do this. No, it's not the first move. That's why. Okay, I was like, this is not. I was like, I don't see it here. I was assuming that that was right, but that's not the right part of it. Let's see what was correct there. Apparently, you have to. Oh, it's. I watched this. Oh, I saw this. This is checkmate. That's why I didn't go for that. I was like, well, if the knight goes back, then you can't do it. That makes so much sense. So what is the next one here? All right, last chance. See how long we can go here. The bishop's there on h7. Capture doesn't do anything. Well, okay, they have this sliding in, which is the problem. So that's why I think you need some type of checks. So if you took, take here, and then you win the knight at the end. Here, check, and then you win the knight here. Because that was going to be very bad. We have the white pieces. I believe it's check here and then capture. And then they slide. I just have to figure out the last move. Oh, then you could go knight there, right? Yeah. Because I'm like, the knight here's cutting the king from coming forward. But once you're here... Oh, no, but then here, then here. Oh, then they just also take. So now that doesn't work. But there is a mate net. You can give a check. Yes, this is puzzle rush survival, Ilya. Check, up, take, over. There's one move I'm missing then. Oh, then this rook could slide over because this is hanging now, right? Here. And then because you're taking that, then this rook can now slide here, taking. All right, so this next one. We want to capture here, attacking. Is there a check that does something? I don't think so. So say you take over. I'm trying to think. One of these two is obviously the first move. Because the only things that attack... Oh, no, it's definitely the bishop, yeah. Because bishop, they slide, you would take the rook. And then here, then the queen takes, yeah, it's bishop. Alright, now the queen takes with check, and now you're going to checkmate them. So the rook slides over. This, I believe, is mate in 1, the rook sliding down. Here on g6, right? Because they can't take it. They can't go there, they can't go there. And you're not in check, so that's just a mate in 1. Alright, next one, the bishop's going to slide over. There's almost mates. So if you take, check, it looks like there's a mate there, but I don't think it quite works. But you can go queen. Oh, you can go queen there. I keep saying you can't do something. I think queen does work, because queen here, they can't take because of that. They can't do that. But they could push h3, which is my hesitation. I think you can sack the bishop, because if take, rook up, it doesn't always have to be checkmate. Sometimes it could just be winning material. And I think it's that, because if you just go here, and then they take, and then you go here, and then you go back. Like, you really can't do anything. Because if you bring the knight up, they could bring their rook up. But this is, we have one more X here. So this is very important. I think it is queen here, though. Sorry, we got it correct. The rook's going to slide down. This is actually just a mate, or a promotion. Because you'll take, right? But you come here with check. You have opposition. You can't push the pawn and they go back. You maintain opposition, check, down, and you get the queen. Alright, next one, they push their pawn forward. If you capture here, there's a threat of a mate. So that's what I'm thinking here. Of just queen captured f3. Can they stop it's the question. They can't. Actually, they can't stop it. That's crazy. The rook sliding up falls. The queen can't go back anywhere. And they can't go back here to f7. So yeah, I think that's all you have to do. Is just capture. Because there's no way, somehow, with all these pieces to stop this from being checkmate. Yeah. They push the pawn forward. Let's see. I have a teacher or that self-taught. Yeah, I had a teacher. I've had a few different teachers. What's going on, Robots for Brunch? I'm on puzzle number 34. Sorry if I responded to that late and if you're not here anymore. But I'm on puzzle 34. But yeah, I had a few different teachers. So I started with my dad. He taught me how the pieces move and stuff. So that was my first teacher. But he's not like... I love him. He's not crazy good at chess. He just knows how the pieces move. So he explained that. And then my school had a chess team. So I was taught by that coach. And we had like other coaches come in from time to time. And then I have a coach now that's helping me try and take that next step. But they go up here to f6. I don't see how you could do this right now. So if the rook were to capture, there's nothing, right? The queen could go here. No, I don't think that's anything. Here they take. There's no mate. Has to be. I don't see this one either. I think it has to be this. I can't explain it. But oh, it might be here, cause then that's hanging. But no, that's probably not it. What's good, man? What's going on, Rav? You're doing tournaments today. Another sub. We're at 940. Today I won't have any tournaments, but I will probably have tournaments tomorrow. You want to do that tomorrow? Alright, pawn comes forward. Take up. No, this has to be the issue. Oh, maybe it's here. They go here, then here. No, but if they go there, they can go rook over. Take queen. There has to be something with that I'm missing. Here, looking on the diagonal, but there's nothing there. If you go up, bishop can just go all the way back. This one is beyond me. This feels good though. Sounds good? Bet. Did you get 2,500 yet? Do I play with the membership? I do have a membership, yes. I do have a chess.com membership. 10 p.m. tomorrow. Yeah, that should be good for me. Or could we do 9? Because I know we're in the semifinals, and I want to sleep a little bit. But if you can't do 9, then 10 is fine too. But I go up here to f6, as mentioned. I really don't see this, and I'm taking some time here. I don't see this. There's nothing here. Here the queen moves. I feel like it's this. I'm just missing the rest of it. I feel like that's what it is. Because capture here, and then here, they go back. You can't check. But that's free, and they go over. I feel like it's this, but I'm missing why they can't just go back. I think that's the issue. It looks like there's some type of mate idea, though. Oh, yes, there's a mate. Oh, my God. Yeah, you could just go. Yeah, I think it is here. Here, back. Oh, no. The bishop's there. So that doesn't work. What is this? Take. Up. That's a no. I guess we should do process of elimination. What's going on, David? How you doing, man? Oh, the messages are completely changing here. 9:30. Yeah, we can do 9:30. This puzzle has me stumped, though. The issue with queen b3, I think qb3, or what I'm seeing, if they go knight back, I was looking at bishop f7, but the bishop can take. So that's why I'm not sure about that one. What's going on, Chess Destroy? Well, this is level 35 for Puzzle Rush. Knight. Oh, that's crazy, David. Yeah, I think you're right. This one, I cheated, but it's knight captures e5. Yeah, okay. Because this is hanging. If they take, you would take their attacking the queen. Wow. Very good eye. Very good eye. Yeah. I wasn't going to get that one. I got to be honest. I was stumped. All right, this next one. They're going to take here, check. Check here. Check over there. And then if you go here, mate, over. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure it's just king here. right, yeah, just king here. And then you go down, and then checkmate. Alright, we got that one. They remove their king forward. This, oh, there's a rook hanging after queen check, right? Because queen check, this can't just take because the queen takes, but the rook is there as well, and there's not a checkmate. So yeah, it's just that. Then you have your queen slide down. Let's make sure there's nothing better though. But yeah, queen just slide down. You take that one. So this next one here, queen b3. Yeah, I was looking at queen b3 for quite some time, and I could not make that work in my head. Because it was wrong, apparently. I don't think I would have not have found knight captures. My mind was not there at all. That's actually something, like in the Italian game, if they mess up. My peak elo, over the board or online. We could take, and then what time control? Because I guess that differentiates there. We can take here on e3. If they go over, check, over. Online, I'm assuming you mean rapid, or is it blitz or bullet? I'm guessing rapid. But I want to make sure I answer the right question. But take, they slide, check. So that's probably not it. Oh, then your knight could go there. Actually, that's kind of cool. Any category? My highest any category is 2330. Is it 2330? 2337 or something like 2330 something. I don't remember the exact number. I think you do take, check, and then over there your knight drops back. I'm pretty. Oh no, what am I talking about? You just take that after, yeah. And you just take the pawn. Oh, you take with the rook. That's actually kind of cool because if you take with the queen, they have that escape. But if you take with the rook, there's actually a forced mate with capture here, then up. And they can't do anything after, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Because you don't want to take with the queen because if up, you can't go there. I feel like that'd still be winning, though. I can't imagine you'd be losing that. But I think this is easier to do. What? That's not it? There's no way that's not it. Can they not? They go, oh my god. The king back, you can't go there. Ah, I see. Because they go here. I was looking at there, the queen can take. So it is the other way with the queen. They go up, there, back, and then you win. Tough. Well, we got that one wrong. That is a tough one there. Let's go to this next one. We can take on f7, queen f4. Yeah, dude, crazy. But this one you take, let's get the easy ones out the way. So we get back to the ones that make me think, make us all think. All right, they move their king down. This is mate, although a little odd looking for that early on. This is checkmate, I believe. It's opposition, so they can't move forward and they can't go over. So that's mate there. Next semester, travel across the country to. Yo, that's fire, man. What's it in? Like what sector? Is it your major or just something that? Cause I know I just took an internship one time, you know, just to take one. I have to know my major. A new method. What's the method? Let me know. Clearly, I need it. I'm getting some all-time lows here on stream right now. Maiden one. Only a matter of time though, because I definitely can get higher than this. The queen's gonna drop back here for mates. All right, here. I think there's mate with here, up, and then over. It should be good, right? Oh, I didn't even acknowledge it. We hit 940 on YouTube. Much appreciated for all the support there. We are now 60 away from 4 digits, which is crazy to say. We have a costume when we get closer that I think most people will enjoy. What was my 2330 in? That was in bullet. Honestly, it's just because that's the quickest time control, so I just play it the most. Like I'm like, well, I have to do this assignment or this something, so I can play it in between, like doing homework. Whereas a rapid game, like 20 minutes, harder to convince myself to give 20 versus 2. But I end up doing the same amount of time because I won't just play one bullet game. But like in my head, it feels better to do it that way. But checkmate, and that's, yeah, it's just mate in 1. All right, next one. This is also mate in 1. Take, and they can't slide over anyway. All right, next. You have the white pieces. I feel like you just throw the pawn down. This is a bit for my major, but mainly a personal. Oh, that's fire, man. Is that your first one or your second one? Whole thing, if you think based on the level, it's much easier. Based on the level. What do you mean by that? Like, they would only show this type of problem to this rating, is what you're saying? But I imagine you just go down here. If it's something else, I'll be quite upset. Yeah, okay, we get that one right. Now we gotta think, this is mate in 2. Because your bishop can move here, and then, or mate in 3, excuse me. And then you have mate here on f2. This, my favorite one. Is it good to see a familiar friend? I've turned around. I think it's a fun one. This is mate in a couple. Because bishop here, this is mate in 1. But they don't have to do that. They could go up, but then you take, and then they go over, and then you take. So mate in a few, but there is mate. Check. Oh, that'll make you go that far. I think you sack the queen. Take here, then rook down. And then rook down here. Alright, next one. Appreciate the likes there on TikTok. We hit 20,000. That is crazy. I don't think I've hit 20,000 under an hour before, so much appreciated for all the support there. 35 means 2,200 elo, so I see. Be scary but fun. Man, you're gonna kill it, man. You're taking some hard classes right now. I'm sure whatever they got for you got it, bro. Or how many lines a particular level has. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna need that later. Cause I've been getting cooked at like the 2,000 puzzles today. And Samuel, appreciate all these likes on TikTok. I'm pretty sure. What's going on, Doug? Appreciate the donation there on TikTok. I think you can just take there. Cause that's free. And your queen's hanging. So process of elimination, I am pretty sure you just take the rook. Yeah, you take the queen. Alright, next one. This is mate in 2 with queen sliding, and then you go there to f2. Now here we have an interest. Oh no, I've done this exact puzzle before. So this is kind of cheating, but it's just d5. I've done this exact same one. I feel like they have enough where that's pretty unlikely, but you just take there. Alright, they're going to move their king. This is mate in 2, I believe. With queen here, and then this is checkmate, because they can't go back. So yeah, it's always mate on the board when they have 2 queens. You just go here and then queen down. And that should be mate in 2 as well. Alright, we're at 22. This is mate in 1, 2, I guess mate in 3. Here. And that should be it, right? Rook down. And then you have this check. And then you have this check. Alright, let's go to the next one. The rook slides up. So there is a fork. Oh, I get it. This is crazy. I think it's take. No. Oh, I almost see it. I gotta work out the rest of it, but I almost see it. Because the idea is there's a fork here, right? And somehow you'd want to get there. Oh, okay. You take this way first then, right? So then if they go there, then you'd sack. Because if they... Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's this, yeah. And now you sack the queen. Like, I had it worked out, because this is definitely the end result. I had to get the pieces there. But I think you take... And Doug can live. Appreciate those likes there as well on TikTok. Do I stream often? Yes. So I try and stream daily. I am a student, so I don't always... That's why I don't have a schedule, because I don't want to lie. And I have too much homework one day. But I generally try and stream every day. So as much as I can is how often I stream, I'd say. But it usually ends up being... Like, I haven't missed a day since... It's been 7 days, I think, straight at least. But sometimes, like, I missed 4 days one time this semester. So it's kind of spontaneous. But I'm pretty sure that is, like, you know, generally daily. And then here, and then this is mates with rook to f8, I believe. Because the king can't slide over. Yeah, it's just mate. All right, next one. The knight drops back. This is free. There's no way. That just mate in 1. That's crazy. But you just take, they can't go there, they can't go there. Or anywhere on this file, they can't go there. They're just mate in 1. All right, next one. This is a smothered mate idea with knight, king, queen, rook, and then knight back. This is double check, right? And the queen slides in, only the rook can take, and then knight here to f7. What's going on, Soggy? How you doing, man? Alright, their queen's back. We're doing some puzzles right here, trying to get right. We're going to take here on f3, and then we can look taking there on g2, potentially. Capture. It's just a free queen. Whatever happens, it's just a free queen. So you just take this, yeah. They go here. Is it a check? Yeah, it's check, because you want to win this completely for free. So check here on g4, king over, check, deflection, and you take the rook. So here, and you can't take yet because it's an exchange, but you can go up here to h4 first, and then take the rook here on f6. Alright, next one. It may be just to win material, because if you go down, yeah, you can't checkmate them. But down, if they take, it's the same thing, whatever they do, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, what if we go here, here? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not the same thing. I'll take that back. Maybe you have to take this first, but no, here, here, and then there. So I think it is. No. I should have. I literally said no, I don't think it's that, and I still did it. Yeah, let's go up here to g3, and that is mate in 1, I'm pretty sure. Do you take? I think you do. I think you do take the knight first. Yeah, we're going to go up here to g3, and then queen down here to h2. And that should be mate and 2. Because they can't, yeah, mate and 3, I guess, because you could take there. And they can't stop this. The rook, they don't have a check, so yeah, let's just go up here. And they sack the queen. Alright. Feels good to see one go through the hoop. They move here. Your knight moving runs into... Oh! But you may want that. If you check here, you get up. And your rook can slide over. We have to watch out for their checks. I don't think they have enough, though, which is the problem. So let's go knight in, take, and now you do have mate coming up. The rook slides over. So you can't go there or you'll get mated in 2 different ways. So you have to have a lot of checks here. That's why I'm thinking it's queen here to g5. As they slide over, you have mate. If you go queen g5, they go here, you have mate. And then if you go queen g5 here, you take. And if you go queen g5 here, here, over, here. And they can't go up and they can't go over because of the bishop. Yeah, the bishop on h6 kind of gives it away, as they have no escape square to go this way. I will say, very interesting design, because that takes a lot of effort to make it where the bishop on h6 stops one way the king can go away. But yeah, we could take here on f2. On this next one, if the king takes, the queen can go down here to d2, attacking, going to win the knight there on c1. It should be that simple. I'm pretty sure it's that simple. Let's just take, and then queen down, and then you take. Let's make sure there's nothing better, though. I think you just take the rook. Let's go to the next one. The rook down. This is our move the defender tactic. So first I'm thinking check. They go here, and then check. Right? Because if you check first, and then here, and then... I'm about to trick myself again. No, it's just rook down. It's just rook down. Right? Because rook down, here, check, here, here, yes. Alright, and then bishop here, check, yes, and then here. Alright, so the next one. They have a... Oh, I see. Oh, no, I don't see this one. If you get... Your queen can't move right now. Oh, this is an interesting way to subvert expectations, I believe is what you say. It's knight here. Because you usually look at like, oh, there has to be something here. Because this is a normal mate setup. But knight back actually is mate. Because the queen is still guarding the rook, and they can't take it. This is mate. A very fun maiden one, I will say. Usually it's like, why are they doing this? But that one was worth doing. I think rook here to f5 in check. Here in check. And then down you take the rook. Let's see if that's right. Check. 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 And you take this here. I'll go to the next one. They're going to drop back. So for this one, okay. If you might have to take the queen first, is the only thing I'm thinking. I think you do have to take the queen, and then they take, and then you go knight d8 to attack the rook and threaten checkmate. So they have to push the pawn, you take the rook on b7. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Because if you move the knight first, the problem is they could just take the queen. So I think you have to do a move that forces them to make a move. So you have to take, yeah. And then you have to go back here versus here, because then the rook can't slide down and connect immediately, right? You're also threatening that initiative with knight down. Okay, well, they actually just give up the mate in this one, and that's just checkmate. All right, the rook slides over. So what you know here is it probably has to be a mate, because there's not too much else going on. So I think you just move your rook here to g1, and then you go here to g4, right? Because they can't promote to something that checks your king, and that's just mate. Brilliant? No way that's a brilliant. Rook g1, yeah, and they have to sack, and then you have here. I don't know. Because if you go here, they go up. No, you definitely have to take with the queen. That's what I thought. But I'm like, I don't see the rest, which is why I said I don't know. Oh, I see it now. If you go here, 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 over here, they can't go up, and they can't escape. That's what I miss, is the pawns there. So they have to go laterally. Yeah, so the queen should work then. Because you take with the bishop, it doesn't work at all. Because here, and then it's just over. Here, 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 and then take. All right, go to the next one. They take. They are not in the box. Usually you can take this. We learned the box recently. Take here, up, over, up, over, up, over, up. They are one square short. I wonder how, maybe there's a amount of the box you could draw depending on how far away I think that's probably what it is too. Like, if they're X amount of files away, the box is this many files times ranks. I need to look that up, because that seems kind of useful. Because they're 1 square short, but if they were on this, they'd actually be close enough. See, they're only 1 square away. This is not mate, right? Because the queen is here on A7. So you can't immediately go here. What you can do, I believe, is give this... It's either this check or this check. I would guess it's this check. Because I guess slide here... No, it had to be this one then. Because then their bishop can't go back. What I'm missing is where's the mate. Because you give a check here. Oh no. What is this one? Yeah, because I was thinking you go there or something. You can't go there. Or not there. I mean like here. I meant like here. And you can't because of that. So it probably is this way still, I'm thinking. It is based off how far. Ah, I thought so. I thought so. Here. Check. Over. Okay, it's not the knight move. There's no knight checkmate. That's the problem. If you go there, this is definitely not it. We've already worked that. That's not it. Here. Over. Here. 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 Up. Here. Ah, that's mate in 1. How did I miss mate in 1 for that long? Yeah, I think it is. Because here, they can't move anywhere, can they? I'm pretty sure that's it. Let's see, overcomplicated. Okay, it is queen d1. Alright, it is qd1. Let's see. Oh yeah, everyone saw that but me apparently. Alright, we gotta lock in. We can go. This is just mate in 1, I believe. Bishop captures here on f2. And that is just mate. Because it's checked and then there. Alright, we found this mate in 1. We found this one. I redeemed myself. Their rook takes here on c3. If you capture, there's nothing there really. Except your queen would go in. But I feel like that's really not that useful. Because they just go out the way. Maybe that... No, yeah. Because then here, here... Oh, no. Oops. Here, here, here. They could just go there. And then if you slid here, they could just go back. So that's probably not it. Is there a sacrifice you can make? If you sack here, they would have to take over. That sack doesn't make that much sense. Something has to be hanging that I'm missing, though. Oh, no. Oh, I do see it. It's here, and then queen takes, and then rook c1 now. And then they have to move, and then you go rook down, and then up here is the only part I don't get. Because how do you slide in? But that's definitely the first part. Yeah, because your rook gets in. Oh, they don't make me find that way. I don't think I would have found that part. Let's see what it actually was. Because I don't see how you have mate. But I saw this maneuver. So say they just go back. What happened? It's mate in 12. Well, that's why I didn't see it. There's mate in 12. Like, king h7, how do you win? Here. Oh. Oh. Okay, it's just there. It's just forced. Alright. I missed qf6. But we got the puzzle right. The knight drops back here to e7. If you capture, the queen can move. So I'm thinking probably not that. The queen. Oh no. You just kick the queen off the diagonal some way. That's definitely the idea. But how do you do it? So if you go up, they take. Up, back. That's too slow though. That's simply not gonna work. If you just go here and they take the h-pawn. And then you go g3, they move their queen back. Then you're in the same scenario without the pawn there. But this is the weakness. I can see that much. Oh, I wonder if you just move your queen here. That could be it. Yeah, I think just qg3. Because if you go qg3, you take with check, and then, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, but you take this with check first, and then you take. Go to the next one here. Bro, you're cooking, Destroy. You're cooking. But the knight's going to slide here on f5. What's your highest in this? And you're cooking as well, Max. But the knight drops. You have black. I'm guessing up. I mean, process of elimination. Is there a better move that he... Like, nothing else even remotely works. If they go there, you'll just take. And then up, here, there, here. I don't know, this has to be the first move. Now, the second move is where I'm a little confused. So you could go king g4. Oh, you may have to go king g4, actually. Because if you just push, they go knight h4, King moves, they could sack, king take, and they have h6. Yeah, they're too fast that way. So king g4, knight e3, fx e3, king x e3, g2. So, I don't know. I guess you'd have to move your king to h. I think this is the move, though. I don't see the rest. Here, here, here. Oops. Here, 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 here. If you push, they go there. So you go king h3 first, and then they push, then you push, then they push. Oh, you push with check. That's why it works. Yeah, you can promote with check, which is why they can't go knight there. But if they can't go knight there, now you can just push the pawn up, because their king can't slide. That's a cool one, honestly. I'm pretty sure it's that, because g2 can't go there, can't go there, can't go there. I think. Yeah, I'll do the next one. They go up here to b5. Past 60 is brutal. I can't say I've experienced it. I can't say I've experienced it, honestly. I've only got to, well, with help, I've got to 58. Alone, I've got to 54. So let's see how far I get. You got to 60. One out. Hey, I got to get like you. They push up here to b5. Okay. Is it too easy to say just up here to e5? I feel like that's too easy. If you go to e5. No, that doesn't. What am I talking about? That doesn't even work. That doesn't even work. Okay. So your bishop's hanging. I imagine it's not just moving your bishop back. It can't be that simple. We have this. Ah. If you do this, that's forced. You have bishop pair? Is that mate? Yeah, I guess that is mate. Well, is there anything else I could do? Yeah, I guess that's forced. Yeah. Alright, next one. The knight takes. This one I think is just pin, right? Because they can only go there. Is it really that? I think you just go pin. And they move, you take the queen, and you take the knight. Yeah, that check doesn't work because of this. And they go up. Oh, this is what I missed. Oh, but you can go bishop here, right? Bishop here, they go up. No, you can't go bishop there. What's the follow-up? If you take, rook capture doesn't work. I'm not seeing the follow. I'm not seeing the follow here. Take the knight. Oh, take the knight. 63 is your max. Try to get 70. 70 is crazy, I can't lie. Is that like the 3000s? I guess I'm about to get to 3000s right here. So that might be like 3200-ish. Yeah, the pawn switching to d4. The queen or the bishop cannot take. So I'm leaning towards bishop g5. The problem is simply f6. Let's do the count. Right now we're up a minor piece. We have to save both. We have to save both. So if you go bishop g5, they go f6. Is there a follow? I think that has to be the move. They just go up. If you took on f6, they take your knight. You could take attacking on g7. The rook. Oh, yeah. I think this is just it. Yeah. Because if they took... I want to show that. I think I see why it works at the end. Yeah, I want to show why it works at the end, though. Because the problem is that I was trying to figure out is here, here. Okay. So at this point, if they go f6, you can take, and then what... Well, it says it's just the castle. But imagine they just took the knight. It's because... Oh, yeah, I was not going to do this, honestly. I was not going to take this, but mine also is still winning. If you take here, because they can't take the queen and promote to this. Here, and then you can go back to the original tactic, right, which is taking at the end. Yeah, it's saying this is +5 versus +10. So I didn't find the best move, but I found a continuation there that would have still been winning. I don't know how I missed rook capture g6, though. That's pretty simple. Let's see. I haven't done survival in a while, though. Lichess. I do like Lichess puzzles more. Honestly, that's what I prefer to do, but I know more people prefer chess.com. I am streaming, so I'm doing chess.com, but I use Lichess when I'm not streaming. But yeah, queen can go there to d1, attacking the king. If they slide up, I don't see anything after that. I mean, if you take the bishop, the king moves, and then I guess you could take on b2. Yeah, if you did this here, rook captures up over. Well, this is free. There's mate. That's the only thing. You have to get a lot of checks. There has to. Oh, there might be somewhere you get a check and you win this. Though that may be. So if you take, they'd have to go up. That's the only legal move. And then you could check. They go here, but you want them to not go here because you can't mate them if they're there. Once they get here, they're safe. That's kind of the issue. Oh no, they wouldn't be. They wouldn't be. They wouldn't be safe. Yeah, I think you take. And now is it this or this? No. It's rook takes. That's what I was saying. Rook captures. Because if you move the queen, then they can just block. So I think the rook has to take. No, the rook doesn't have to take. So you get that one wrong. Let's see what the right answer here was. See the puzzle number you're on and the rating? Is there a way? This stream, I gotta be honest, probably not. But I can look at that for next stream, though. Maybe the only thing I can think, can I add... Let me just check something real quick. Can I edit this? Maybe if I add a... I don't think you can add a second thing on TikTok's the only thing. Yeah. Well, I'll try real quick, though. Alright, here. No. I tried to add a second one. You can only add one at a time, apparently. What I was about to try and do is add that and then crop it. I don't know. But I can look into that, though. What was the better... Why is it not showing me the analysis? So, queen takes... Oh, forcing the queen trade. Ah, that makes way more sense. I'm looking for mate. I missed her just up a minor piece. Alright, we only have one more strike X here. But yeah, their knight drops back. If you give this check, they're kind of stuck. They would have to go rook back, right? Then... Oh... Then is it queen f4? Because if we go queen f4, you're attacking that, and you're attacking that, right? I think it's rook down qf4. Because then if they take, you'd have mate there at the end, I believe, is the reason that works. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's rook down. No. Oh, you got the 47. We got higher than the last time. It's not rook down. It's queen f4 first. Well, I saw the right move. The wrong order. Oh, that way forces the queen loss. Oh, we got to 47. I mean, that's not the worst thing. Not the worst thing. We got that. We got higher. The highest to date. My goal, I guess. Let's see highest all time. Does it show you the highest all time? 29 seconds per puzzle. Maybe I should take a little more time and think besides that. Does it? No, you can't see. I was about to try and look at that, but you can't see the longest. I mean, there must be some way. It just shows 55. Oh, it's 55. Really? I only got one less than the time I got helped. Oh, that's not too bad. Was right in, calculate the order. QE, man, I don't know how I did not. You can see? How do you see your runs? I never existed. Yeah, we can take this and take here on E8 for checkmate. And now mate here on B1, I'm thinking. Pawn forward here to F4. Up, up. And now rook down here for mate. Alright, first 4 correct. And then Einhorn. I'm going to stick with puzzles for today. Tomorrow I will have some games up, though. Either tournament or grind for... I haven't decided yet. And I'm doing one with another streamer. We're going to do an arena battle. But I may also do some rapid games. The screen dark? The screen's dark. Really? I don't know why the screen's dark. I'm not sure. Is it like you can't see type of dark? Or you mean like it's just dimmer than usual? But yeah. Where you select the time you want and pick the lights in 3 minutes. Okay, let me see that real quick. Let's see here. Oh, I thought that was personal leaderboard. Ah, I see. Thank you, thank you. Okay, it was 50. Oh, 53. I'm sorry. I said that 54 is my highest. I got to 53. Let's go back here. I did not know you could do that. They take there. This is mate here. All right, next one. The pawn goes forward. This is mate in 3. Taking here on G7. Check, and then rook can slide over. Mate here on H2. All right, next up. You want to take this rook here for free in the corner. And then rook can slide over for mate. We got the first 10 right. This is mate because the bishop and the queen are lined up. I guess I don't have to explain the super, easier ones. Here, take, and then the queen slides over. This is mate in 1 because the queen can go here. This is mate in 1 because of the ladder checkmate. Mate in 3, sack the queen, and rook captures f1. Alright, now we gotta do some computation. Although I'm pretty sure you just still take, or you check up, check down, and then mate because the knight guards the escape square. Here, and then up, and then here. Alright, next one. The bishop's going to move. This one I don't see immediately, if you can't tell. Is it knight here? Ah, I think it is knight there, because the queen's hanging. And then you have there. I'm pretty sure it's this. Yeah. And they slide over, you have this fork. Let's make sure you can't trap the queen, though. Like here. I want to go there, but this runs into that. Oh, no. This also, yeah, just go here. Alright, then you take the rook in the corner. Alright, next one. The rook is over. You can take, and you have a fork on f2 at the end. You take there on h1. The rook slides down. This is actually checkmate. They can't stop the mate because they're going to go to g3 and then you take that. Alright, you have the white pieces. I wonder, do you sack? No, I guess you could just promote because they can't promote to a queen. Oh, this queen's going to be hanging. I get it. Because they can't promote to a queen, they can't check you, so you just get a queen, I believe. Yeah. And now they have to sack, which I believe you just take. Unless I'm mistaken. Take, promote, up, check, down, check, up, and then when they check, the queen goes down. Yeah. You just take that. Alright, they move their king forward here. The face cam's in the way of the puzzle. You're watching on Twitch. Oh, yeah. I can try and work on those things for next time, because it seems like everyone wants to see a little bit more. So, I didn't really think about it that much. So, tomorrow, I don't know if I'll do this tomorrow, but I'll try and make it where you can see it. It should be kind of easy for those watching on Twitch and YouTube, honestly. Twitch and TikTok, I don't know how I'm going to do that. But for Twitch, I could probably just, or you guys don't care, I could do it. But I think I know how to do that. I should be able to do that for the next time we have it. Sorry about that. Didn't cross my mind. We can go queen here to g5. I don't know why, because of course you'd want to see what I'm doing. But yeah, thank you for telling me though. We'll have it fixed up next time. But they move their king forward. You can give this check probably, and then if they go, wherever they go, you have a queen check after. So like check, and then there's there, or if they go back, you have queen up. And then you can go down at the end. I'm almost certain that's it. Let's see if that's right. Yeah, and now because the queen is diagonal, you can move anywhere, and because on the dark square, you're going to go queen up here. Alright, next one. The knight's going to move in. So this knight is guarding the checkmate. There's no sacrifice. If you go here, they go there. If you go rook down, this knight then takes. I'm a little confused on this one. This is a free pawn, I guess. That probably is just it. Oh, yeah, that's just it. Because then bishop goes back, you take there. And then if you go here, they can't move. They can't go over. They have to go there. Then you just take, yeah. And then here. All right, next one. We're at 22. The rook's going to slide down. There looks like there's mates. But I think you have to sack your knight. Because this is the only legal move. Then your rook slides down. I think it is knight sack. And then the rook goes here to b2. And then you checkmate there. So what's the next one? The bishop's going to slide in. So, how is that? So if you go, the queen take doesn't work. Because queen take, knight takes, here they go over. So it must be rook takes then. But then if they go here, how do you win? Is where I'm confused. If you go down, they take. Yeah, I don't see this. So if you take check, king over, anywhere else. Oh, you go rook over. Oh no, yeah, it's just rook takes. Yeah, okay. The king's gonna slide in here. There's a check. They go up. No, that's not enough. Let's see. Here, check. They just go there. The rook sliding down, but they have too many checks. Is the problem there? With the rook going down to f2, their queen can get too active. If you go in here, they go over. No, I don't know why I keep doing that way. Oh, I see. It's here and then up and then rook down. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and then rook down here. I believe. Yeah, and then queen here. Okay, let's go to this next one. Can I zoom in the game? Can I zoom the game? Zoom it? For TikTok? I get... Let's see. On my screen, it looks proportional. Is it not proportional for you guys there? Oh, the level. Oh. I don't think I can zoom. If I zoom out that far, I don't know if you can see it. I mean, I guess you... Yeah. And it's cropped. I can try for next stream. We were just talking about that to have it where you can see the level and stuff. This one, this is my first time doing it. I don't know if I'll be able to be honest with you. But next stream, I'll definitely have that in mind beforehand. What's going on, Jazzy? We have some puzzles going on if you want to do some calculations with us here. But their king slid down. I'm thinking knight can drop here. If they slide here... Nah, there's nothing you can do there with rook a1. The rook just slides over. Knight in this way? I say using the Twitch emotes there. I forgot. You gotta show me which one's your favorite one again. If we give this check, because you're... Oh, you have... Yeah, I'm saying here. You have to guard the rook. So, yeah, you have to go there. Is where the follow-up is. If they go king, they have to go there. That's also forced. So, two moves you know is king, knight e3, and king a3. It's just the mate part. Where is mate? It's rook, knight, bishop. You would have to corral the king. So you'd have to check then, because then they can't go back. And they can't go there, and they can't... No, they... Oh, yeah, they can't go back, so they'd have to go up. With the... This is not hanging. You're still guarding that. Check, up, check, down, check. So this has to be the first move. Knight down, okay. And I'm pretty sure... Oh, this is... No, this is mate. I said it's not mate because of the rook. You can just take on a2. Yeah, alright, so the next one. They move their pawn, and then you go here. Oh, this is a pretty simple... Yeah, here, and then you just take. And you take there. Alright, this next one. Are their knights going to slide? Oh, you send them all as your favorite one. Alright. You love the artwork that's there. Hey, not famous, not famous, not famous. But we are doing puzzles. We are doing puzzles. I think bishop can drop to e4. And we're doing puzzles all stream, Eliza. All stream, we've been doing puzzles. Yeah, bishop to e4, attacking the queen there on b7. Man. The king, or the queen could slide to a6. And then I guess rook b8. But then the king has a3. So no, that's not it. Yeah, you can't go there immediately. No, I think that's still it though. Because bishop to e4 is the only move that guards your rook, that keeps the attack alive. Oh, I see what I'm missing. It's because you can take the pawn after, right? Once they're there. Yeah, so I think it's here. And then they would have to go... But if they go back though, that might be the problem. Because you can't slide your rook over if you do it that way. But this also doesn't work. This is free right now. But your queen's also hanging. So then you can do that. This is quite the difficult. This is quite difficult. This is the 28th hardest one. Here doesn't work. Everything is hanging. So there must be a mate that I'm not seeing. Because when everything's hanging like this, you have to have checkmate. I wonder if you can just take on e2. But I guess the king can go to a3 then. But then you would save your rook. So if you go there, take king up, king down. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. This doesn't work because of knight takes. Or I guess, can you go to that endgame? I guess that's the winning endgame though. So maybe you can do that. Oh, maybe that's the whole point. Is you go here, here, then here. You're still up the exchange. Although chess.com usually doesn't do stuff like that, to be honest. But I do think that would have to be it, because anything else I think just loses. If you move the rook, you just lose the rook, and your queen still, and you just lose your queen. So you can't move the rook. If you move the queen in, yeah, we're gonna trust the instinct here. It was wrong. No, what was it? What was it? I closed my eyes because I wasn't certain. I did say, okay, what I missed, oh, I'm like, why can't they just go here is what I was saying. Which is why I didn't think it was that. Because I mentioned it, but this was my caveat, was this. Check. I had to, oh, you just have to know that this is winning. I guess that is kind of obvious. I didn't see that far ahead, though. Alright, so this next one, we got 28 incorrect there. Let's see. Takes the rook with check. What puzzle level? This is 27 right here. This is 20. This is 29 because I got 28 wrong and I have 27. They're gonna slide here. Looks like that's just mate. Pretty sure. Yeah. All right. Next one. They slide over. This should also just be a mate with take and then rook here. It's h8 and then you take there. All right. Next, they go up here to g3. So here doesn't do anything. Here, the queen looks kind of weak is the only thing I'm thinking right now. And the queen is kind of weak. The king's also kind of weak. I don't see a sack though, which is the problem. And if you go up here, they can just go queen down if you're trying to get in this way. So that and they also could just block with that. A lot of reasons why this diagonal immediately isn't the correct choice. I want to say you sack, take, and then here. The problem is after they go here, there's no follow-up after here. Oh no, I think that is it actually. No, I'll take that back. I think you can do that. Because take with check, the king slides over, you go down. So they wouldn't allow that, right? Because then that's just kind of hard to play. So here, take, and then we go queen here. And then we're looking. But can they stop that though? If you take, and then here, and then here, and then here. Oh, I guess they could go rook h2 though. Yeah, because once you're here, they have rook h2, and then you can't go down. Okay, so that's not it. But I feel like that's the idea though. But yeah, because yeah, the rook sliding down was what I missed. Because here, 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 and you can't do it. If you go this first here, down, take, that also has an issue though. Boom, boom, check, boom. Man, why I'm getting stuck on puzzles I should not get stuck on. It's either this or this, but this one doesn't work at all though, because we figured out rook h2, so that doesn't make any sense. Queen can slide there. If they go rook down, how would you counter that? You would take there on g3. That has to be the first move. They'd capture. You don't have a check, which is the problem. We don't have a check. Rook f2, then queen h2. Rook f2, queen. I'm assuming you mean after this. So here, here. Boom. I think it has to be here. Yeah. There's no way. It can't be that one. And you're saying, why not take the rook? Why not take the rook? Queen e5? Queen e5 was my first guess. I think that runs into queen sliding to c3, unfortunately. That was my first guess, though. This doesn't work. So it's not that. You're saying take here, check. What if they just go up, though? That's what yeah, if they just go up, I don't see how you're winning. But I don't see how you're winning at all. This is a crazy puzzle. This should not be this hard, and I'm not seeing this at all. This is probably better than this, though. I can agree. Because this doesn't do... If you just do this, with the rook captures here, there's nothing. Yeah. There. I just don't understand how this is winning. Alright, let's go to the next one. The knight drops back. Take. They go over. Check. No. No, you definitely can't do... Oh, it's probably this, right? Check. Yeah, you would take this way. With the bishop first. Because you take here, and then there's checkmate here. Alright, next one. I think you just go here. Yeah, because you go here, then... Because if you go here, they go here. So, I think it's that. And then you go over. And then you take. Alright, so the next one. Alright, next one here. Oh, I think you just go here. They literally can't stop it, which is crazy with the position. But after queen to c6, this is force mate. They can only block because the pawn can't move. Yeah, that is it. They move their knight in with this check. You could take, they take. You would take, they take, then you take. Let's see, here, here, and then here. All right, next one. They take that way. Check here. And then take here, up here, take, up. Yeah, you'd be winning. They can't get there because opposition. All right, their bishops want to take there on d7. And then, no, there's nothing on that front there. This is free, but it's never that simple. It's never going to be just taking on d7. So I'm just going to put that out in my mind. It's never that. So there's something that I'm not seeing immediately. If you take the rook on A, Oh, I wonder, it might be that simple though. Maybe you take the rook first and then you take the bishop? That could be it. Rook captures a1, rook captures a1, queen captures d7. Oh, then the knight. Yes, yes. Okay, I get it now. It's because if you were to do it first, then the knight gets out. But if you take here, the rook slides, then you take, and now it's stuck because you can't take on f5, which you could have done before. Well, if it's wrong, then I feel dumb. But I think it's that. Yeah, and now you can take because the knight's also trapped at the end. Capture. Yeah, and now they have to sack. But if the rook, if you do this first, then they could just like take and then take and then knight captures f5. Now you just take the knight. Alright, next one, they're going to capture here. And with the queen would have to be the move. Yeah, because there's just a lot of different mates when you go queen here. Let's double check though, because I've said that and we've got a few different puzzles wrong. But queen d6, they go here, just here, and there's mate. And then qd6, they go over, and then here, then over. Oh, they can't go over. No, yeah, just here, here. This is checkmate. Okay, it is just qd6. And then bishop here. All right, that's good. All right, the queen's gonna slide down now. This may be a sack of the rook. That's the immediate thought, because when they take, you would take. They'd go over. But where's the mate is the question. Well, this has to be the idea. This is definitely the idea. I just don't see the exact mate. Take. Well, now I see this mate. I want to see the other way, because this one you just move the rook over, right? Check. Yeah, I don't see if they go in the corner. I need to see that because I missed that for some reason. But the idea was simple enough. Here, where is the mates? Oh, it's mate in 3. Here, king b8. Oh, then the rook's. Okay, it's still rook b1. All right. I say I don't see it with the bishop and the queen. I'm forgetting there's another piece in either line. But the rook slides here on e5. Oh yeah, you just take the queen and then take, down. Alright, next one. Their knight's going to slide in. If you capture the bishop... Oh, I feel like you just go here. But then there. So that's not it. Yeah, because if you go here, they go bishop back. No, but then you would just take it and then they go here. No, that does work, yeah. You just go here and then here. And if they take that... I'm not seeing it all the way, but I'm pretty sure it's this. Because if you go bishop here, they go bishop back. If you take... What I'm missing is if they take the bishop there and they keep this bishop here, my dark square there. So what could I do to win material after? Because then if you take check, the king could take guarding the bishop. But I'm pretty sure this is it. And I just have to figure out the rest. Yeah. And then it's still here. This is the only thing I don't see. Oh, then the rook would... But if the rook takes, they could take. And then you would take... I still think that's it, though. And I just need to figure out the rest. Yeah. They don't make me. I would like to see what happens if they just take the light squared bishop, though. Alright. So they take the light squared bishop. That's where I don't see it all the way. Let's see. So if they do this first... Oh, you win the rook in the corner. Yeah. I see. Yeah. You're right, Joshua. I don't know why I missed that one. I'm trying to figure out how to win the minor piece back. And it works out great because they can't even get the king out the way to trade the dark squared bishop off, because king 8's the best move. Then you take there. That makes sense. So let's go to this next one. We're sitting at 41. Their pawn goes forward. We see that the rook is here on this open file, looking to go down there. The queen could go down, but they have blockers, right? So it doesn't make that much sense automatically. What does make sense is one square short, though, because if you go here now, that's mate and the rook's hanging. So they'd have to guard. I'm pretty sure that's just it. Because queen down here, they can't go there now because there's mate. I don't think I need to calculate too much more because that should just be it. Yeah, that is it. And you take here. Alright, next one. Their knight slides in. This looks like it's not free, right? So I'm guessing it is free. And then that's the part of the puzzle. So it probably is just here to d4 then. Oh, the problem with d4 though is they could take the knight attacking your queen. So that's an interesting part of it, is they take attacking, similar to the idea of the puzzles where you just keep taking and your piece escapes taking one more. So d5 is probably not it then. But your knight can't move, so I think it is it, and I just don't see the rest, because you can't move at all. Like, if you... Yeah, the knight is stuck because of the pin. And rook going down deflecting is pointless. So I think it is d5. Let's see, if the queen slides over, queen takes pawn takes knight, and that just defeats the point. It must be d5, knight captures f6. Oh, I do see it. It's because you sack the knight, right? This is... Okay, I'm starting to see the difficulty. It's because you go up, they take. I am right that you lose the knight, right? You'll take, they take. But after pawn forward, knight in, you have rook b1 check. That's the reason it works. Okay. Yeah, you have to drop the minor piece, which is why I was like, why would you do that? I couldn't get over that fact. But now you push the pawn forward. Yeah, and then rook down. Alright, you take the rook. Alright, next one. Rook slides over. If you capture on e5, the queen takes... No, because you're down a rook. Oh, no, you're not down a rook. I'll take that back. So is it just bishop here then? Because I thought you were down. I didn't see that at first. But now that you have that, you can just go here, I feel. Oh, that's a trap, though. Knight. No, it's not. Knight there, take. And then, yeah, you'd be fine. Yeah, you just go bishop back. And then here, it's almost mate if the pawn couldn't move. But the pawn can move. And now you're not getting mated. You have king g2. Alright, they take here on d. So this type of puzzle usually is just queen down. But because we're at 45, I'm guessing they're trying to trick me. I don't think they are. I think it's queen down, over, up, and then mate. And then... Oh, I guess they would sack their... Oh, they sack their queen. Oh, no, that's still mate. No, that's literally still mate. No, but then that's free, though. So that's not still mate. I'll take that back. Check, over, check, up. If you go g5, qx g5, hx g5, king x g5. Because this pawn is blockading. And then this is just promotion. You couldn't stop both of them. Maybe you could, though. Because you could give a check when they're here. How would you stop? Let's see. I don't see how you could stop the mate, though. But this has to be it. Just because this just doesn't work. So this has to be the first move. And this has to be the second move. And this has to be the third move. Oh, no. I get it. It's queen captures h2 instead. Because if you go g5, they can take it. But if you take this... No. I'm wrong again. Because then they take that. No, I think it is this. I just don't get... How is this... How can they not promote? Oh, you take the rook. There it is. Now I get it. You take the rook. I missed that the rook would be gone at the end. But the queen slides over. Rook down is the first thought. But they have rook down here to f1. So if we were to take there... Take... No, that wouldn't work. Check. Winning that. Honestly, you can't do that. I think the part of this puzzle that's confusing is usually... When there's this many pieces around, you're going to lose. But you actually don't lose. If you go here, they go there, you take. They don't have checkmate, which is the thing. So I'm pretty sure it's just here. Why wasn't it queen h2? Actually, I can show that. Very good question. So the reason queen h2 doesn't work, that I see at least, is because of... Oh, let me go to the analysis board. Because if you take this, I'm pretty sure they can just take this. Yeah, they can. And now, because the queen is doing a good job at guarding here. This pawn, which is the issue for them, is they can't take with the king. Because if they take with the king can just run away, you know? And you're getting rid of a protector of it. So yeah, that's why that one, Kyoshu, doesn't work. This, I do think it's just queen over, though. Because rook down, I don't think works. Rook e2, I think falls to queen d5, I believe, would stop that. I think it is there. Because they can't do anything. There, they go over, or, I mean, they would go up, I'm guessing. And then you would take, and then they check up. Yeah, you're saying knight after. You're saying knight. I feel like there's something wrong with that. I think you have to check. Yeah. And I can't explain it, but I'm pretty sure you have to check. Here and then up. And then you could go... Oh, you can't go there. Because if they take, you lose the knight. So you would have to... Oh, this is mate too. Okay, this is... Oh, this is crazy. It's queen down here to h6. But I want to go... I think there's definitely an issue with it, and I could not verbalize it. But I know that you can't move the rook down. I think it's too slow. Why exactly? Let's see. If you go rook e2... Oh, rook c8. I knew it was something, and then here, that's me. Alright, so this next one. The knight's gonna slide. My rating? So are you asking over the border online and then what time control? What's going on, Amy? How you doing today? Yeah, the knight drops back. I feel like you could take that. That's free. Well, let's see the material count first. I don't do that when I start the puzzles. Right now we're down 2 minor pieces for nothing. So you probably have to do more than just take that. Oh, is it just take... Really? Just take pawn? There's no way it's a mate in 1 on 47. I think it is just take pawn, though. Yeah, it's just mate. Alright, move that rook over. Bishop captures, doesn't do anything. Because they're here, back here, up. So is it knight here first, but then up? So I think that whole part of the... But it has to be something... One move is correct. So it has to be something that's aggressive. So it's either knight g5 or bishop sacks. I'm not seeing the juice with bishop sacks. So I think it is knight g5. I'm just missing after e6 what you could do. Let's see. Man. It has to be bishop captures. Because knight captures that you could just go e6 and then the attack's done. But I don't see it though. I don't see it. So if you go here, let's say, okay, let's just say they have to take. Because knight there, you have a fork. So let's say they have to take with this. They have to go here. The knight jumps. Let's even say they have to go. Oh, the queen's trapped. Yes, the queen's trapped. Yeah, alright, I see. Alright, the king goes forward. If you... Okay, there's almost a mate. There's almost a mate. Up. Yes, I think it is up. Up. Disrupting. Right. Take. You're still disrupting. Yeah. And you have to sack the rook. Maybe I should show that one. I don't know. If someone... I could show that one there. You said... FIDE and online. My bad, NH. So, I don't have a FIDE. I only played 3 rated FIDE games. I'm 1956 USCF, and then I'm 2100, or I guess like 2130 Blitz and 2100 Rapid. Although, and 2300 Bullet. I don't really play Rapid that much, because I don't like to play long games unless it's for over the board rating. So I might be a little bit higher, but who knows. It's 2100 now, though. But yeah, the reason this works, I want to explain that, is because if they take, there's just, it's mate in 12. But the general idea is that there's a mate here. So say, I don't know. Let's say this does happen. This is checkmate, right? The king can't move anywhere. So that's why going up there to G4 worked. Yeah. I got, no, not FIDE. I guess I have 3 rated. I think my estimated is 1600, although I'm sure I'm not 1600. It's because I had a tournament where I had... The one FIDE I played, it was 3 games, but it was a 5-game type of tournament, but 2 of them weren't FIDE rated because of the time control. So I ended up getting 3 draws against like a 1900, and then, what was the other guy? An 1800, and then a 1500. But he's now like 1800. He was like a fake 1500. He was a kid, so it didn't count. It was like that. 200 Blitz and Bullet and Rapid I have been like that for 2 years. Can't find progress. For Bullet, honestly, 2100 to 2300, not that big of a difference. You just got a guy, maybe blunder a little bit less, but it's not that big of a difference, honestly. I think it's rook check first for this one, though. Because you go rook c1, they move, you go up, then that's hanging. But I imagine there's something better, and I need to search for that. Right? So if you go up here, I guess my own thing is, if you... Oh, no, you do have to push first. Because the king can move. If you... No, you have to check first. Because if you push first, check, up. I just saw it. Oh, yeah, and then it's knight down. But no, then rook down. I don't get how they both don't work. This is the fun of this puzzle. Why don't they both work? I don't see. So let's calculate it. Rook here. Oh, no, you can't do rook first. That's what it is. Because up, and then... here, and then check, and they move, and they go knight here, and they can sack the knight for the pawn if you check first. So if you go here first, they go down, then you go here, up here. If they move the knight, could you go rook over? Yeah, I think that's the difference. You could go rook to a2 then at the end of that, so that they couldn't sack for the pawn. Because if you check first and then up and then down, Oh no, but if you check here and then here, no, that could work though. Here, no, I think it is check first. Well, no, check. They would move. You'd go down. Up here. But you could never promote the pawn though. Is the problem, right? Because even if you have the pawn, if it's like set up like this with the rook stuck and the king's up, they have these as well. I'm really okay. That's not it. So pawn down doesn't. Pawn down or rook down both don't make sense because there's a way they can stop both of them. So I guess you have to go here, but that doesn't make any sense either. Oh no, I think that does make sense. I think if you go here, how did I not consider that at all? I usually will just find two moves I like and don't think about the rest of them. But I think that does work, right? Because if you go there, they would. But then if they go there, oh, I guess you could take check up and then here. Yeah, because like if they sack for that, and then again this doesn't work because of this, and then check and then up and then knight here, cutting off the pawn from promoting, and then this doesn't work. Check, up, and then up. Here. Oh yeah, because rook a2, and then your rook you take, and you can never move your rook. That would be the problem. So yeah, I think it has to be here. Yeah, and then here. And then queen. Alright, we got to 50. Alright, the queen's there. Let's see. Well, I'm missing a lot of messages. I guess that's a good thing. Rook f1 does work. You win a knight in every. I think the problem with I'll go through that. Cause I thought the same thing for most of that thought process as you heard me saying out loud. 800, let's see. Best advice to get to 1,000. Ohio, I'd say honestly keep going. I asked my coach this before. I've said this on stream before. But I asked one of my old coaches, and he said, are you, like, stuck? But maybe you said you're stuck, and I misread that. Are you stuck? Self-taught, best advice. Yeah, if you're not stuck there, you should keep going, man. But rapid and puzzles, I think, the main thing I tell people if you're trying to improve. So let's go through why these don't work. I think this one doesn't work because after they move, and if you go b2, I mentioned the check, and then here, they can just lose the knight. Or they go, knight a3 in this one. But the other one, they can just lose the knight. So knight a3, here, you're losing in this one. But if you were to do this way first, I think the problem is, you're not supposed to check apparently. Oh, you can check still. But you can just give this up. Because I think the rook can just slide down. Or this is the same thing. Here, and then they go here, and then you go up. And if you were to take, they're winning, but I feel like this is fine though. No, you can't go there actually. You have to check. Well, whatever it is, this is not really a win. I don't. Oh, that's crazy. Because if they go here, you take. They get a queen. You block. This is a draw apparently. That is a crazy draw. No human, I feel like, is drawing that. There's no way. But let's go back to the puzzles. We got that one correct. Explain it. Yeah, absolutely, Ohio. Thank you for joining in. Amy, I see you got that one correct. Rook a2. And I think you got it faster than I did. Because I saw some messages going, but I didn't want to cheat. But their queen goes here to d2. Alright, let's think. Rook f1 is the first thing. I mean, that's like it's the only check that you can even play. So you'd have to go there, I think. The follow-up, when you have this much less material, I think you kind of have to go for a check. So I'm not even going to calculate all the way. Because if they go down, I guess you could just check. Is there another way you could do anything? No, you can't take, you can't go. And then if you let that happen, there's mate in 1. Alright, that's correct. Now take check. Oh, there's literally just checkmate. Yeah, there's literally just mate. Because here, or is it, I think it is here. No, it's the queen. No, it's the queen. I already have 2 wrong now. It is the queen. I thought there was a ladder mate. I'm dumb. We could have went there, and I guess they go here, and then you take that. Yeah. Alright, let's go to this next one. We're at 50. This is the highest we've got today on stream. So, we have increased every time. I think that's in, that's good. We are incrementally getting better. If you capture here on, we're at 50. That's what I'll do. I'll announce like periodically. We're on the 52nd puzzle because we got 51 wrong and we have 50 correct. So we'll announce it like that. We can have the rook slide down and check. King over. I'm missing the rest of it though. I am missing the rest. I feel like this has to be the first move. Rook captures c2. Like nothing else makes sense. Okay. Now this is where I'm kind of stuck with the rest of it. Okay, this discovered doesn't work. Could you give this discovered? Slide over, king. Take. No, there's the bishop there. Here they go in the corner. You don't win anything. You're down a piece too, so there has to be checkmate because you're down a piece. Oh, wait. Oh, no, this is great. Is it here? Because here, they can actually blockade, which is kind of crazy. They can't blockade anything. Yeah, nothing else works, because if you take this, they just go in the corner, they're safe. This keeps them out the corner, and the bishop... Oh, this is like the idea of the two bishops checkmating someone, because the bishops are cutting it off, and then you can go rook c1. Alright, this is... I'm going to close my eyes on this one. Yes, alright. Rook can go here to c8. Well, if that part's right, this part is right as well. And then you take, Alright, we got to 51. Let's see. What messages did we miss here? Rook c1. Wow, you guys see you guys said rook c1 pretty much instantly, it looks like. Wow. What are your guys' rating? I want to hear that. What rating are you guys? You're seeing this very quickly. But their queen goes up here. We can go bishop here to h3. Or is it queen? Oh, no, it's I see. It's queen here, and then they go up, and then you go here. And there's mate regardless. Yeah. Because if you go here, there's mate in 1. They'd have to push, and then that's also mate in 1 that they can't stop. Yeah, and then bishop here. Alright, there we go. The rook's want to slide over. Like, that's not the same level of difficulty as the last one. That's just way harder, honestly. I mean, way easier, I mean. Alright, the rook's want to slide over. You can give... Very bad at opening, zero opening. Ah, zero opening knowledge. Okay. Let's say you're solving this, like, immediately. What's going on, Liam? How you doing, man? I'm impressed. I can't solve these immediately. I guess you're seeing that I can't do it immediately. But I think the bishop can go to d4 here. And that should be it. I don't want to jinx myself, but these are getting easier now. I feel like they were harder in, like, the mid-2000s. But bishop d4, I feel like, just wins the game. Because if the queen can't slide anywhere. The only thing is if they just went rook e4, but then you can just take with check first. I'm pretty sure... Why is it so simple? I think this is it. If this is wrong, I'm not surprised, because that seems way too easy for a 2900-ish rated puzzle. But I think it is just this. Yeah, it is. Okay. And then you take... They take, and you take the knight. I'm, like, triple checking, because I found that in, like, 2 seconds. I feel like I am missing something. But I think you could just take this. Yeah, okay. I don't know why the other ones were definitely harder. They have an interesting system going on here. But if you take this... They go back. No, is my mouse dead? Oh, no, it's not dead. How many chess problems have you done so far? I'm doing alright, Liam. And then to Jose's question, this is the, if my math's right, the 56th puzzle. Because we have 53 correct, and we have 2 incorrect, which is a 1500 rated puzzle. And I've got like 10 straight on 2000s. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. But we are on the 56th puzzle that they have to offer. Alright, but they go up here. Where'd they move? To g4. Knight, or if you take the knight, the queen slides in. Their queen is just trapped, though. I would like to say their queen's just trapped. So I think that's just the puzzle. The queen is trapped. Wait, no. Let's double check. If you go here, if they take, you could just take. Yeah, that is correct. And now they're gonna lose this rook here. They're getting easier. Like, I'm not trying to, like, brag or anything. This is I'm very confused why this is getting easier. But their queen's gonna. These are just like 2-move tactics I'm seeing here. Let's see. 26. No, we're on. Right now we're on 57. This is the 57th puzzle they have for this one. But their queen slides over. I feel like you just push the pawn though. Like if they go rook down, then it's just you're back in the game. That would have to be it. Cause you just go down rook here, queen take, and then 2 rooks is enough for a queen. But nothing else works too. This is why this one's kind of easy. Well, if I'm right, it's easy. If I'm wrong, I was wrong. But I'm pretty sure it's that because nothing else works. Your knight can't move. You can't win the queen, and there's no checkmate. So I think it's just no. I was wrong. So let's see what it is. Why it is that's wrong. We almost got to 55. Rook first and then promote. Okay. I got the move order wrong. This is winning. What I did, I guess, was a draw. Is probably the difference. Yeah, this is a draw. So I'm not wrong. I said that 2 rooks enough for a queen. I didn't think you're trying to win the game. I missed the win, which is rook down first, and then you push, and now they have to sack. That is a difference. That is a difference. I'm not saying it's not, but I would have drawn the game. But this is a win. All right, so we get that one wrong. We have probably enough time for one more puzzle rush here to see if we can beat, what did we just get? 54. All right, so we also get 54. I have to get off round 9. So we have 25 minutes to accomplish that. Let's see if we can do that. So later, puzzle rush one more time. 59 is crazy. We've had a lot of people around 60 here. I gotta get like you guys. I think my highest is 53. Because it says 55. I gotta be honest, I got hope through literally every puzzle. Probably past 30 on that one. I did not do that alone at all. But 53 I did do one time, basically alone in stream. I guess recorded, but I don't think anyone was in the chat or something. But we can take here on E1 for this first one. Alright, here you're going to take on D8 and take the queen. Alright, now the queen's going to drop down. You know, the first couple, I said this one time earlier and I got one of the first couple wrong. But generally speaking, they should be pretty easy. And I think the one I got wrong was easy. I just got it wrong. But you just take here. Alright, that's good. This is mate. That's nice. This is mate in 3. You sack the queen. The rook is enough to stop the king from moving. You have the black pieces. This is actually mate with queen sliding over. This is, well, you have a lot of pieces here. But because you have a lot, there is mate there on F1 at the end. I'm going to sack the queen here on F1. Alright, next one. The king's going to move. See? This is why I don't want to say too much. Oh, it's just bishop here. Yeah. Alright, next one. Yeah, it's check wherever they go. You have a knight fork. Knight, G4, you could have pre-moved. The rook slides down. This is a ladder, mate. Alright, next up, we have... So this is not free. That's not free. You can move your queen here to G4 looking to attack that. But that also doesn't seem like it's it. But they do have checkmate, so I have to be worried there. Check. Over. Check. Do you just check till you win their material? This one is definitely harder than the other ones, I think. But I think you can just go here. If they go back, you take the bishop. Yeah, because you're already up the exchange. I think you just drop back with the queen. Yeah. The rook slides over. This is mate in 1. This is not mate in 1, but you have this check, and then you can take that at the end, right? Check, and you take this, and that is checkmate. Alright, next, this is mate in 3, here, here, and then here. Alright, we're at 20. I'll update. This is the 19th puzzle now that we're doing right now. The queen drops back here to E5. There's a double check, and then... So double check with here, and then queen down. Should be the move. Here, and then queen down here. Boom. Alright, the queen's going to slide. This is an interesting deflection tactic. So you go queen here first, but then the rook goes down, and now you take the queen there on D1 for checkmate. They slide over. As you can see, we actually did a puzzle like this earlier. If for those who've been here the whole time, or at least a little bit of time, you take the knight first. This is like the exact same puzzle, except there are more pieces on in that one. Here is mate in 2 with the queen sliding down, check, and then you have the... I don't know if you call it a battery on a rank, but on a file it's a battery. Like this is a battery. I guess you call this a battery too though. But anyways, you go here and then checkmate. Alright, next one, the rook slides down for check. You would have to go here because here lets a discovered attack happen, which I don't think you would want to do at all. So I think you're going to go here, and then if they check, you go here, and then here if they check, you go here. And then you should be good. So that's my intuition. Here, yeah. And your king, you can only move, this is the only legal move besides going back. And that doesn't make sense. So we're going to go knight down. Take. I'm a little worried about what's correct, but I feel like it is just to take. I guess it's the only legal move too. Yeah. Can't do anything else. It does look like it's a little bit dangerous, but that is the correct way to go. Alright, they move their queen here. This is my first instinct because there's no way you can win anything. So I think you just take. Wherever they slide, there's mate there on g2 on the next turn. Let's see. Yep, and then queen here. And that's checkmate. Alright, the queen's going to move. I have an intuition that you simply sack the rook. Yeah, you sack, they go up, check, back, knight down, and then sack over, take over, mate. I think that's it. Yeah, you do sack. Okay. Their king slides in. The knight. Oh, this is actually checkmate. Knight back there to just g8 to the starting square. Their knight slides forward here on this one. We're looking to attack this. We can have our bishop. Oh, bishop can capture this for free though. But this is also hanging. So a few different things to think about. They have this fork on the f6 knight and the d6 bishop. If you take the bishop there on a6, you could then go bishop to b2. But they could take that. They could take your knight and then take on h6 is the only thing. So knight capturing on e5 is probably safer. But the only thing with that is you lose your queen. Because knight captures e5. And then slow down. Alright, I can try to take it a little slower. So, is there a particular puzzle you wanted me to go back to and go over again? Yeah, the knight's there on g5. If the knight captures, the bishop could take qx d6 and bishop captures, you lose your queen. You take the bishop, they take the knight. You take the pawn, they take on h7 though. So that's not it. Why is it a random 1500 puzzle that's getting me every time? Every time it's been a 1500 rated puzzle that I just don't understand. And I've got harder puzzles. But the knight's there on g5. If you take on a3, they can just take on f6. Find the mates in 1, 2, or 3. And do you appreciate those likes? 1, 2, or 3? Okay. I'll do those slower. I got you. But the knight's there on g5. I'm so lost. And I know it's not hard. I know that this is an easy one. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm thinking. So if you take here, they take here. You can't take back because the bishop captures h7. You'll lose your queen, right? With that being check. So that's why you can't just take this. And if you do this, then you just lose. So you can't take the pawn. They have to take this, which is the problem. That is the issue in the position. You have to allow some type of attack. Because of that, I feel like I would want to play g6, but then they would just take this. So that's why I'm thinking it's here. They take. You would have to take here. Oh, right. Oh, yes. Right now you're up a minor piece. So, yeah, you can do that. You could take. They take. Getting it back. You take. Now you're still up 1. They take. You move your queen out the way. They take. Rook takes. And you have 2 minor pieces for a rook. Let's see if that's right. And the reason you can't take this way is because of the queen. So, well, let's see if I'm right first. But I think that's why. Yeah, you can't let their queen slide in. And you see in the game, they don't even go for the idea that I mentioned because it wouldn't work. As they would lose, they'd get 2 minor pieces for a rook, which is not a trade you want to do really ever. So king can slide here to h8, and that is it. Alright, their knight's going to slide forward. This one, pretty straightforward. I believe you take here, and then just bishop here. And then slide, and then take. Yeah, capture, and then you have this bishop on this diagonal attacking the knight and attacking the rook at the same time. So you're going to go here, and then you're going to take the knight and go off the material. Alright, the bishop's going to slide, threatening a mate in 1. So because you see mate in 1, you know you have to get a check, more than likely. And here the check is, wow, I love their puzzle design. I must say, like for some, not all of them, but for some of them it's like, wow, they put a lot of effort into this. The reason this one is, I think is cool, is because I think it's here. Take, they go bishop up. You'd move your pawn there. Oh no, would you move your king first? You probably move your king first. So I think it's here, take here. They'd have to go up. King here, king up, king here, king up, king here. And your king is too far, because they could go up. You could just push the other pawn down. Let's see if that's right, though. Here. Oh, they didn't make you solve it. But I'll show that, because I said a lot of words, and you don't get to see any of it. I think the reason this works is because after they go here, you just, I mean, h6 also works, but it says king g4 like I had mentioned. And if they move their king's just slow, like there. I said king move, but this is just better too. But yeah, too many pawns, they only have one piece, and you're going to get the win there. So we got the first 29. This is puzzle 30. They have this check, which is funny because I've actually done this before, so I know the answer. The answer is king c2. And the reason king c2 works is because here, well, I haven't done this exact puzzle. I did it where I was black, and it was like over here. But it was the same idea. It's opposition, so even though you have a queen, you can't actually use it. It's that's this checkmate, and then there's checkmate, and then there's checkmate. So it's just king to c2. Yeah, and they have to just drop their queen. All right, next one. Their knight's going to slide. I must say, I don't see this one immediately. Your queen is hanging here. If you give a check, they just take that. And then if you... Oh! Wait, no. Because then they could take. This one I don't see. I don't see. If you give a check first, they go over. Oh, no, I do see it. Yeah. You just check first. And then they go over and then you checkmate. And then if you go here, they go up. Yeah. Alright, let's go to the next one. They go push their pawn forward. This is a discovered attack on the queen. I believe bishop captures h7. So then the queen's hanging there on f6. So when you give that check, they can move their king forward. But then you have rook captures g5, I believe, is the reason that works. So then if they go over, you just take with the bishop that's sitting there on h7. But you always have to check because your queen's hanging. But let's see if that's right. Take. And now you don't take this way because you want to win the queen. So you're going to deflect again with rook captures. And now you win the queen there on g5. The king slides forward. I think rook c6 first. They move their king to b4. Okay, rook c6, king b4, a3, king a4, rook a6. That wouldn't work. So I think it's rook c6, king b4, and then and then you could go for, I see it now. I see it. It's here, and then I didn't say anything, but the reason this works, eventually your pawn's going to be here, and it's going to be like a mate at the end. But for example, your rook has to go up. Not example. The rook has to go here first. So you have to go here because they can't. The pawns are creating like a blockade where they can't move to the third rank. So when you go up here to d4 and they go up, they have to go. That's the only move. You go b4, again, only move territory. They have to go back. And then your rook controls the file and they can't go back because you have this a2 pawn saving the game. So yeah, here and then up and then here. I'll do this next one. The queen is going to take. Now this almost is a hard one because you're maybe wondering how is there a checkmate, but the queen can just take on a1, which is the problem. Can I play an actual game? So I have a little bit of backstory as to why I won't do that today, but it is a reason because yesterday I've been doing the same thing for like months basically, just doing viewer tournaments, and I had some people that are like, hey, you should probably, we want to see you switch it up basically. So what we were deciding that we do, like, I just do certain things certain days. So today I just want to do some puzzles, and then I will have a day. That was another thing that they mentioned, to do longer chess and explain everything that I'm thinking. So I will do that, just not today, because I want to try and stay consistent with trying to make one thing a day. But I will do that. Appreciate the follow there, Ja. But yeah, I think you just, yeah, QA1 is, because this is just free. That was my monologue though. It looks like there's not mate, but you just take that. But yeah, you just take there. Yeah, and you take the queen. All right, next one. They go forward. My first thought is, oh, I see this. It's here, check, because they have to go there, and then you go here back down where it's mate. Because right now it's not mate, right? If you move queen down, because they could go back. But imagine well, I just show you here. Oh, they don't get to show. They don't show it. But the problem is, and then if they were to actually play it out, if they go here, they now can't escape, right? But previously, they could escape. If you just go here, they could just go back. But because they're one square closer on the diagonal with this, they can't go to this square here. They can't jump that far back, which is the reason it works this time. All right, so this next one. Here, the queen jumps up. Can I see if I see this one? So there's a check on h1. There's a knight takes on d4. Okay, so I'll just stop myself. The check on h1 can't be it because of the rook going down here. So process of elimination, I'm like 99, 95, 80% sure, I'll say, that you can take here first. Because if takes, you take, and then they... No, no. You could... Yeah, you would take their attacking, and then that's hanging at the end. Which I think is the problem. They have two pieces hanging. And they have to react to this because their queen's hanging. So I think this is it. Yeah. And again, there just doesn't work. That one's kind of cheating because there's nothing else that even would kind of maybe work. But if you don't see the rest of it... Oh, no. I'll take it back. Because if you take here, the knight can go here. So that's something. So I'm going to have to calculate a little bit more. I still think that's it, though. And there's just a way to get around that. Would be my guess. Maybe because you could just take this after, too. Which is not ideal. But I'm pretty sure you just capture. Yeah. Their king's going to move forward here to c3. If the queen drops back, they have that escape square on b4. So my first thought is q captures e5 because of that. Because if you take there... I guess they could just go king back, though. Oh, but then you could go queen b2. King moves, queen back. That's just a repetition. If you go back king there... So if you go queen c1, king slides to b5. But the queen could also just go to d... Or the king could just go to d4 if you move there. So I think you do have to take the bishop. I just don't see how you have a mate, though. If you don't take the bishop, they can just escape. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, John. Like, I think it has to be that. I just don't see the mate after it. Because I see q captures. They could go king. Like, right now, the king can only move backwards this way. Which is why my first instinct was to go there. Because it's limited, but they have two squares. And you can't make them on either. This one, I feel like I may get wrong. So here... They could also block, though. That's the thing. They could block, and then here, and then black. Like, it's just repetition at that point. Unless I'm missing it. Here, here. Okay, let's say I go here, and then here. But there's still no knight check. Which is why I think it's this. I just don't see what to do after here. Because then if you go knight up, they go back. No, I think it is this, though. Because I see a way you could probably win if they move their king this way. But if you go here, they go this way. I'm not seeing the follow-up there. Oh, maybe it's knight check. And then up. Check up. But I need the queen's there. This is a hard puzzle. This is a pretty hard puzzle. On puzzle number 37 as an update. The queen captures e5. The king would have to... The king could just move back is the only problem. With king to d... So many ways out of it. But king d2 probably the cleanest. So my intuition is to go to c1. Not sure if it's right, but let's see. Because if it's wrong and it's just take the bishop, I'll feel like very silly. I am right. Okay, it's queen c1. I think this just ran into king d2. So I'm right with the first move. It's the rest that we're a little shaky on. So the queen can't... So what you can't do is check diagonally because of bishop c3. Right, so if you were to slide over, they could just go there and the attack's done. Which is why I think it's knight here. What I'm missing after knight there is king up. Because if they go here, you see the queen slides in on the file. So that would make sense. But if you go here, and then they can't go down. Oh, I guess they could go down. You have no anything. And then the problem with a5 is king up. And you have no way to... So I do think it is knight here. But I don't know for sure. I guess I'll never know for sure. That's my intuition. Alright, I don't see where there's mate. I want to see that myself. For everyone watching and for me. I don't know how this is... They can't just go here. And then... Oh! What about here? Oh, here. Oh, still queen a3. You can sack the knight, apparently. That's crazy. You can sack the knight. And then... Wow. I didn't see all that, honestly. That's crazy. So I won't play today. I'll have some games tomorrow, though. But they slide their rook here to d5. You can take. If they go here, check. No. So here, take. Check down here on b4. They can't go back because of the pin. So it'll be here, here. Check. They slide here. Oh, but that's mate. Oh, that's why. So I'm going to be on. So I don't know the exact time I'll be on tomorrow. I can give you like an estimate. I apologize. I know that's probably not what you want to hear, but realistically, I got a class at 2:30, and then I have an assignment I have to do. So I'm hoping around 5 p.m. EST. That'll be my goal. That's what I'm aiming for. But it could be earlier or later, depending on how hard this assignment is. Yo, no. So the move is actually I see the move. You could just go here. I think you can't take that because of that. Well, I'll just show it. It's take. Oh, it's not take. Ah, maybe it is pin. Oh, you go rook over. That's crazy. Rook. Oh, I did not see that. Rook H1. Scalar saw it. I didn't see it. Why is mine wrong though? I don't get that. Why can you not take here? Can you not check here? King H5. Oh, this is not mate. They can take the pawn. Yeah. That's what I missed. It is mate if the pawn's defended. If this is here. I missed it. That's just hanging at the end. Alright, so we got that one wrong. Let's go to the next one. The queen's going to slide up. My first thought is to go here. But I think that's wrong. I think you have to sack the rook first. And then they take. And then you go here. And then they go up. And then you bring the queen in. Let's see. Alright, that is correct. Is this correct? That is correct. Is this correct? That is correct. And bishop here for checkmate because the pawn can't actually move. Right? Alright, GG. Let's go to this next one. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the part. That's the part that you told me you want. I can explain that more because I did that kind of quick. I'll go back to the missed two. I see 2 questions. So let's go to the first question. Why can't you pin? You can't pin because of the rook. So here, the rook would. Or they have 2 defenders. And then you have 2 attackers and 1 defender. So that's why you can't go for the pin on that one. And then let me go over that last one again. I did that kind of fast. So the reason you can do this, you have to sack because if you just go queen in, they have rook g7, right? So that doesn't work there. Why not bishop e2? For the last one, we go back to that one. You said bishop e2. Bishop here. You can't go here. Because there, I think they can just take. Yeah, they can just take on e6, yeah. Alright, I think that's the problem with that one. No worries, Chris. Appreciate those likes there, William. And then, what was up there? Oh, yeah, this. So, just to explain what I did, because I kind of sped through it. You can't go, I think I mentioned this part, but to go over it again, they go rook g7. That's the problem there. So, you have to sack, because the king can only take, only legal move. And now, because you have this open file, like if you had the open file to begin with, you would have just won. But now you got the open file minus this piece, you have to mate. They go over, you check. They can't go back, they can't go back. They can only go up. And pawn forward doesn't work, because they do have this backwards diagonal. If you just push forward, they can escape, right? And they're up that rook you just sacked. But you have the bishop move, which is checkmate, because the pawn can't move to the pin. Alright, so let's go to this next one. We're sitting at, this is going to be the 40th puzzle right here. I think an easier one for number 40. I think it's just d5. I think we've done something similar to that on stream today even, I believe. The only thing is with d5, they have this potentially. Let's say take. Oh, take and then you take there. So you can take either bishop, I believe. Why take? We take the rook. The rook. Do you mean? Wow, I need to just keep those open. If you mean this one, if you're saying after bishop e2, that might be what you're saying. Are you saying no? After this, here. Maybe that's a different thing. If you could tell me which puzzle, and I can go to that. Let me do this one. I think it's just d5. Yeah. They sack. You would just capture, I believe. Bishop b2. Bishop b2. You mean here? Oh, no. I think the problem with bishop b2 is that you just want to pawn. Or it's this, too. That could be an issue. But, yeah. Here, you're going to take. And then you're just going to drop back. Because you can't go there because the queen falls. So you have to move your king back here to g8. So this next one. The knight slides in for the checkmate. The checkmate. Oh, the checkmate. Okay, let's go back to the checkmate. My bad. Alright, let's review this one. Let's take this off then. Then take this off. So what's the question about this one? I'll just stay on this for a second. Because there's probably a delay. So like I'm moving faster then you guys are probably typing, or you guys are seeing me. Whatever it is the delay. So I'll stay here for a little bit. What's the question on this part? I imagine it's after this. Here. We take the rook. So is this the part you guys have a question on here? Was there a different? I'm not seeing a message. So I'll keep this open though. Let's go here and try and calculate this next one. The knight's going to slide here. Oh, it's 8:59. Oh man. I do have to get off. I did not realize this. Wow, I've been talking puzzles for like 2.5 hours. I do have to get off because it's 9. But I'll be on tomorrow for probably a longer time. If you want to keep up with me, my name is PJ's Chess on YouTube, on TikTok, and on Instagram. And then PJ's Chess 993 for those watching. If you want to follow my Twitch. If you do one of them, please check out the YouTube. I have some cool videos. If you like the NBA, I have a NBA/chess video. So please check that out. I document my collegiate chess league experience. So I'm playing the CCL. My team's in the semifinals. You can check out those games on YouTube. I'm also at 1,000, so it'd be cool to hit 1,000. I can get paid a little bit of money. So you're great. I appreciate that, Chris. But yeah, I'll catch. Oh, first.